while we're creating the Funnelology course. So I've had a lot of fun, and this is the last day of the training. So I'm gonna jump up here in a second and get started, but just wanted to first off, get your guys' biggest takeaways. It's been so much fun reading your comments over the last couple of days. And tonight I'm gonna be reading these comments. I'll probably read to my kids if they're really good. So if you make an amazing comment that makes me feel good, I'll probably share it with my kids. So feel free to comment down below. In all honesty, I'm curious like what your biggest takeaway was. Like, as I share these principles, these things I've been talking about sharing for so many years, and every time I try to make it a little better and more clear and more concrete, and so every time I hear what people's biggest takeaways were, it helps me to understand okay, cool, that was a piece that people were missing, or the thing that I need to go deeper on and stuff like that. So please let me know your biggest ahas, your biggest takeaways down in the comments. It would mean the world to me. So whatever it is, anything from the last couple of days till now, please let me know. So that's number one. Number two, before I get started up here, as you know, I made an offer at the end where you guys can get this entire Funnelology training for free if you get your tickets to Funnel Hacking Live. And we've gotten insane amounts of people blowing up our email and Facebook and Messenger and everywhere, asking dozens of questions because people are trying to figure out flights and hotels and all that kind of stuff. And so the other thing is we've sold a ton of tickets. I think we're almost 100 or anyway, I have the numbers here in the slides. I'll show you in a second, but we've been selling tickets like crazy. I thought this was going to go till Tuesday at midnight, but my guess is we're going to sell out Funnel Hacking Live probably the next day and a half max. And so that means you've got to move now. So I want to really quickly go over the offer for any of you guys who are kind of sitting on the fence, just so you have it again, and then I'll jump up and jump into training. Does that sound cool? All right. So here's basically the offer one more time, is you guys are gonna get access to this entire Funnelology course, the first 4 episodes plus the next 2 episodes for free when you get your tickets to Funnel Hacking Live before we sell out, which is gonna be happening again probably today, maybe tomorrow. We're almost sold out. So if you get tickets in time, you'll have a chance to get the full Funnelology course for free. Inside the Funnelology course, you're gonna get all the recordings all cleaned up and looking amazing. Because obviously, sometimes on Facebook and YouTube, it kind of crapped out a couple times. So you get all the perfect edited videos from the training. You're gonna get the audiobook version so you can listen to it while you're driving around, while you're working out, things like that. You get the PDF transcript. So for my readers out there, you can either print it out and take notes, so you can have it on your Kindle. There's about another 12 or so other hours of trainings I want to include in here that I wasn't able to do live. Things like my funnel audibles training and funnel stacking and other things that tie into the core principles you've learned here. So I've been plugging those in the members area as well, and a whole bunch of other stuff, okay? And you get all this training and everything else for free when you get your tickets to Funnel Hacking Live before they are sold out. Now, really quick, for those who don't remember, Funnel Hacking Live is January 29th through February 1st in Nashville, and it is the big show we do every single year. Last year, we had over 4,000 funnel hackers there. This year will be as big, if not bigger, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And as of this morning, we pulled the stats. We had 273 tickets yesterday when I told you. Now we're down to 161. So again, we sold over 100 since this time yesterday, and we've got 161 left. So my guess is by today, maybe tomorrow, they're going to be gone. So I wanted to just give you guys the notice. If for some reason we don't sell out, like I said, Tuesday at midnight, we're going to double the price of tickets. So either we're going to double the price or it'll be sold out. Either way, now is the time to get your tickets. So make sure you go do that right away. And again, if you get tickets before midnight or before we sell out, you get the Funnelology Masterclass, everything here for free. So all you gotta do is go to funnelhackinglive.com and get your ticket. So there you go. There's your warning. You've been warned. I don't want to get an email next week like, oh, Russell, I was gonna get tickets and then I found out they're sold out, because it happens every single year, and I don't want it to happen for you guys this year, okay? All right, so that said, I'm gonna jump in the masterclass. We're going to session number 5. You guys all ready for this? If you're ready, let me know down below. I need to see at least 100 comments, because I already know this stuff, so I can go to bed. I'm tired. It's a weekend. Just kidding. All right, let me know down below if you're excited, and I'm going to go get up there and we'll get started jumping into presentation funnels. Hey everyone, this is Russell Brunson. Welcome back to session number 5 of the Funnelology Masterclass, the new art and science of funnel building. I hope you guys have enjoyed all the sessions so far. We've been covering a lot of stuff and hopefully giving you guys an understanding of all of the funnel frameworks and how they work. Because again, they're not super complicated. They're simple when you start to understand them. So session number 1, we talked about the secret formula, figuring out who's your dream customer, where are they congregating, what's the bait you're going to use to grab them, get their attention, and then where are you going to take them. And inside there, we went deep into hook, story, offer, which is the framework we use to grab somebody so we can get their attention, tell them a story to build a relationship with them and increase the perceived value of the offer we're about to make them, and then we make them an offer. And notice I said an offer and we don't sell them a product, right? We create an offer because an offer increases the perceived value of the thing we're trying to sell, and it makes us unique, so we're not a commodity, so it's something something different that only we can offer. Okay, that was all session number 1. So if you missed it, make sure you go back and watch that because it was insane. Session number 2, then we talked about the result, like where are we taking somebody? Every single customer who comes into your world, if you have a transactional business, you're going to always struggle. You're always going to be working, like looking for the next sale, the next quick way to make cash, right? We don't want transactional business. We want businesses that are transformational. We're transforming people's lives. And so the big question is, when somebody comes into your world, where are you taking them? What's your value ladder look like? What's the Oz or the big result that your people are looking for? And how do you craft that and create it? How do you create a value ladder that grabs somebody and sends them up and provides value so they want more from you, and provides more value so they want more from you, so you can change their life, so you can get them to the end result they're looking for, and you can help them find your Oz. Which I guess that means that you're the Wizard of Oz, which is kind of exciting. So congratulations. That was session number 2. Then from there, we started diving into the value ladder and what happens at each funnel inside the value ladder. The next session was all about lead funnels, right? We talked about the 3 different type of lead funnels we use to generate leads, and we talked about the reason why you want leads and why you're trying to build a list and the value of that list and why it's so important. Okay, we showed you those funnels. Then we moved up 1 tier of the value ladder and we showed you the unboxing funnels. Okay, from there we showed you the book funnels for any of our information-based businesses and cart funnels for any of our physical product businesses. And I also went deep into challenge funnels for anyone who wants to be able to take their customers and indoctrinate them before they send them up the value ladder. And so we've had a lot of fun so far, and now we're moving up to the next tier of the value ladder, which are our presentation funnels. And that's what session 5 is all about. So as we move up the value ladder, you can see we've got lead funnels, unboxing funnels. You guys are now masters of those levels, of those funnels, those frameworks. And now we're going to be jumping into presentation funnels. And so that's kind of the game plan. Now, I showed you guys this during yesterday's presentation, that basically all of these 2 tiers of the value ladder come off of you making an offer, right? We talked about that all during session number 1. We create this amazing offer, and we got 2 ways to sell that offer. Number 1 is we unbox that offer, like I showed you guys during yesterday's session. We say, okay, this first offer is going to be the first thing, and then the second thing, an upsell, and 1 more upsell. Number 2, the order form bump. Like we unbox that offer, and we lay it out in logical sequencing of offers. Okay. Or number 2 is take the entire offer we created and we just sell it all at once. Okay. This is where we start selling more expensive things. And so the way we sell something for $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000 is by making a presentation, and that presentation increases the perceived value of what you're selling, and then you actually sell the person the thing. Okay. Now, I love all these types of funnels, but presentation funnels are one of my favorites. During the very first introduction session, I talked about hook, story, offer, and story selling, how we grab people when we tell stories. Like all those things we kind of talked about there are going to be elements inside of the presentations you are making. Now, one thing I would highly recommend, I'm not going to go deep into it during this training just because it's outside the context of what we're covering, but if you've read the Expert Secrets book or gone through my perfect webinar training, that presentation is perfect. That's why we call it the perfect webinar. It's the perfect presentation, right? And I would highly recommend studying that, because it doesn't matter if you're using a video sales letter funnel, a webinar funnel, or a product launch funnel, the script is the same. That's the big secret. Okay, it's the same presentation. I use the perfect webinar on my video sales letters. I use the perfect webinar on my webinars. I use the perfect webinar on my product launch funnel. So that script, that presentation is important to master and to understand, because it is where you're going to be plugging into all these different funnels. Okay, and I'll kind of show that a little bit as we go through here. But just for those of you guys who want to go deeper, again, this whole training of funnelology is more about the funnel structure and funnel frameworks, and then the art is you weaving your stories into it. And so that's the next piece for you to start learning and mastering, is the art and how to do those presentations and things like that. Okay, so that's what's happening. Today, though, is we're focusing on presentation funnels. Okay, so there's 3 presentation funnels that we're talking about. The very first one is our video sales letter funnels. And this is, honestly, for probably 5 or 6 years, this is the only type of funnel that I ever did. A lot of these other variations are things that we've kind of developed and pioneered a lot more so over the last 5 or 6 years. But the first decade, we pretty much were doing video sales letter funnels and sales letter funnels. And so I want to take a step back in time so you understand where these things came from. Because sometimes we're like, oh, this is the funnel. Like it just came because some guy was really, really smart and figured it out. And the answer is no. It came from people who are now dead, who were way smarter than us, and we're just basically copying them. Okay, if you rewind pre-Facebook, pre-MySpace, pre-Google, pre-internet, okay, back when the way we got all of our communication was either through a phone line or by the postman coming to our house and dropping off letters, this is where this whole concept of sales letters and video sales letters was pioneered. Okay, in fact, it probably went all the way back. Actually, it's not true. I did some research for the Traffic Secrets book trying to figure out when the first sales letters were ever done. And I don't remember the exact date, but I do remember finding the very first sales letter was basically people were trying to raise money. So they would send these letters in the mail to try to raise money. And so anyway, so if you look at this image here, the old school sales letters, the way that these would work is that a marketer like me or you would go and they'd rent a list and say, okay, I'm selling a fitness product. I'm gonna go find a list of people who bought in fitness products in the past, and they'd rent the buyer list. Then they'd write a letter, a big old sales letter. It had a headline and then a copy and then a sub-headline and more copy, and then the back would have an order form. They take the letter, fold it up, put it in an envelope, and mail it to people who they knew were probably likely to buy some type of weight loss product. They send that letter out, and let's say they send out 1,000 letters to try to get a 2% or 3% response rate, right? So send 100 out, they get three orders. They get 1,000, they get 30 orders. And that was how the whole game was played. Okay, prior to the internet, that's how direct response marketers made their money. Either they're doing direct response on radio or on TV, or the majority of it was happening through direct mail. Okay, and so I don't know about you guys, if you remember getting sales letters like this, you got excited if you just threw them away, but I geeked out on them. My whole journey started back when I was about 11 or 12 years old. If you read the original .com Secrets book, you remember the story in there. But my dad one night every night he'd watch the news, and after the news was over, he'd be working, doing his business on the side, and he usually made me go to bed. But it was a weekend, and for some reason he didn't make me go to bed. I would watch the news with him, and the news ended, and I was like waiting for him to tell me to go to bed, and he didn't. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And then a few minutes later, MASH came on. You guys remember MASH? That was the next show after the news every single night. So the MASH came on. I was like, this is amazing. Like, my parents watch MASH. I've never seen it before. I remember I didn't really get many of the jokes, but it was just cool to be hanging out with my dad. And then MASH got over. All of a sudden, it flipped over to these infomercials. And the first infomercial was by this guy named Don Lepre, and he was teaching how to make money with tiny little classified ads. Any of you guys remember those ads? If you're not, you can go to YouTube and Google, and YouTube's type in Don Lepre, tiny classified ads. You'll see the old infomercials. But these infomercials changed my life. I was sitting there watching, I was like, oh my gosh. And I still remember the story he told. He said, he's like, I placed a classified ad in a newspaper and I made $30 profit. I told my friends and my family, they kind of teased me. And I took that same ad and I placed it in 1,000 newspapers and I made $30,000 profit. I remember he said that. I was like, what? What, freaking out. I'm looking at my dad who's like doing his taxes, whatever he's doing. I'm like, Dad, are you paying attention? Like, he's not. I'm like freaking out. And then by the time the infomercial was over, I'm like, I am sold. But as a 12-year-old kid, I didn't have the $40 I needed or a credit card to order this thing. So I'm freaking out. And I wrote down the phone number and everything. I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, like, we need to get this. And my dad kind of smiles like, okay. I'm like, no, we have to have this. And he finally told me, he's like, well, I'm not going to buy it for you, but if you want to work for it, you can. So he made me go out and mow the lawns and do gardening. And for the next 6 weeks, whatever, I did everything I could to earn my $40. And I finally got done. I remember, this is kind of a funny side story. I remember I had the phone number I was going to call, but I was like, I remember in the infomercial, they said that if you call in the next 5 minutes, you get these three other bonuses. And I was like, Dad, I have to have those bonuses. So we can't call right now. We need to get the infomercial again and call during the infomercial so I don't miss out on these 3 bonuses. And I remember like sitting there every night with him. I like tell him, like, if it starts playing the ad, come wake me up. Come wake me up. And so a couple nights, and one night he comes in, hey, Russell, they're playing the ad. I'm like, what? I run out there and I get all excited and we watch. As soon as the phone number comes out, I call the number on the phone and then I hand it to my dad and he puts the credit card in. And a week later, I get this kit in the mail and I'm like freaking out, reading all this stuff. And it was awesome. The biggest problem I had is that as a 12-year-old kid, I didn't have the money to place a classified ad or a product to sell. I didn't know what to do, but I was obsessed. Like, I got the gist. I remember like a couple weeks later, I was with my mom at the grocery store and walking around. And we saw this magazine. It was the Small Business Opportunity magazine, which, I mean, if you buy magazines, you should always see there's always like cartoon faces on, like how to get rich quick through whatever. And I looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to get rich quick. So I got it, I'm flipping through and there's all these ads in there. I'm like, Mom, can you please buy this for me? And she's like, you're ridiculous. And finally she said yes, pays the $5, buys the magazine for me. I get home and I start opening it up and every single page is an ad for a new way to make money. Like, one was like how to sell gold chains at the mall to make money. One was how to paint glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling to make money for people. Like, all these ideas. And every single one of them had a 1-800 number to call to order a free information kit. So I started calling every single one, like literally, I think it was a 144-page magazine, and there were 4 pages of articles and 140 pages of ads. So I called all 140 of them. And what happened is that every single person sent me out their info kit, and then guess what? They sold my name to other direct response marketers, and they sold to other people, and soon I was getting hundreds of letters every single day in the mail, and it was amazing. So I tell you this story because I was like a 12-year-old kid, and I would get these sales letters in the mail, and I'd get it, and I look at the envelope, and the headline, on the envelope they'd have, sometimes they have a copy on the envelope, like, you open up to learn how to make money at your local mall. I'm like, oh, and I open it, I pull it out, it's this huge letter. I'd read page 1, page 2, and I'd read every single one of them. And then they'd always have an order form. I'm like, And I remember as I was doing that, there was two buckets. One I'd read, I'm like, that sounds stupid. One I'd be like, this is the greatest idea of all time. I must beg my parents for my credit card to order this kit. And I have like the two different piles. And so for me, like as a 12-year-old dorky kid, I was reading sales letter after sales. Like I was just obsessed with this thing, right? And a few years after I got into wrestling and I forgot about selling stuff and I got obsessed with wrestling. And then I wrestled at BYU. They cut the wrestling program. I went on a mission for 2 years for my church. After that, I went to Boise State and I started wrestling at Boise State. And about that time is when I met my beautiful wife. I proposed to her. She said yes, without knowing that I had $0 and no job and no prospects because I was wrestling. And we decided to get married. And about 2 or 3 weeks before we got married, I was like, I got to figure out how to pay for stuff because I have $0. It's funny how these things don't go through your mind as you're proposing and everything. It's just like later when you're like, how are we going to eat? Anyway, and so I'm sitting there, and that night I see an ad for this How to Get Rich Quick on the Internet thing, and it was like this event that's happening local Holiday Inn, which is actually not too far from here. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get rich on the internet. So I called the number, got the tickets, went to Holiday Inn, and I'm sitting there, and I remember the dude sitting there talking, and he starts showing these things. He said, this is a sales letter. He's like, it's like a big long letter and it's a web page, has this huge letter, and we go and buy ads, we drive people to sales letter, and if like 1% of people read it, they buy the product, you make money. And as I'm looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what everyone was doing with sales letters like back when I was a teenager, right? They were finding a list of people interested in the topic, they'd write a long form sales letter, they'd put it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, mail it to somebody, and hopefully 1 or 2% of people bought the thing, and that's how they made money. This is the same thing, you're just, instead of having a print thing, it's just this long website with a sales letter, you drive people who are interested to the sales letter and try to get 1 or 2% of people to buy. And my mind was just blown. I was like, I already know what they're doing, this is amazing. And I started freaking out. And that was where I got started in this business, okay? And from there, I started finding all these websites that had long form sales letters. And at first, I was just always confused by it because I was like, why would someone read this? It's so long. But then the right sales letters, the ones that had information that I was interested in, I would read 60, 70 pages of copy sometimes. And by the time I got to the bottom, I was like, I must give these people money. Like I have to, right? I'm sure most of you guys have been sucked into a really good sales letter. And so for the next, probably 7 or 8 years of my business, that was what it was. We were writing long form sales letters. We'd find a product, create an offer, make a long form sales letter, drive traffic to that thing. That was how we did everything. And this is about the time that YouTube started coming out and people started doing videos. But the problem, we do videos and the bandwidth was so hard, it was so expensive, and videos were super choppy, and if you had too many videos on a page, the whole page would crash, and it just wasn't efficient to do videos. So some people were like, oh yeah, this is the future, we're gonna make video infomercials, and it never really got to that, but it took a long time. And I remember a couple years later, I had this friend, his name is Keith Wellman, and Keith one day had an idea, and he took his long form sales letter, and he turned it into a video. But it was crazy. All it was like a video. You've probably seen some of these before. It was like the first sentence, and then he read it. It was like, hey guys, welcome to our website. And then it showed the second sentence. Over the next 3 minutes, I'm going to teach you blah, blah, blah. And then the next sentence, it basically read the sales letter to you. And I remember watching it, I was like, this is so weird. And it's frustrating because I want to scroll and scan through and see everything, but I couldn't because there's no way to scroll or scan. It was just this video, and it was like sentence after sentence after sentence. And I got so hooked in because I wanted to see what the next sentence was going to be. I sat there and I watched this whole thing for like 20, 25 minutes. And by the time it was done, then he had an order link pop open and to go sell the product. And I remember watching that, I was like, that was fascinating. I couldn't stop watching this thing. And anyway, I messaged Keith. I was like, how's it doing? And he told me, I can't remember the sales, but it was like over $1 million during the Christmas vacation. It's like I had no product launch, no nothing. I just sent an email out to my list for this thing, and people went crazy for it. And from then, after that, people started getting obsessed with video sales letters. And video sales letters at first were just basically a long form sales letter, but instead of someone reading it, just say here's the headline, here's sentence number 1, here's sentence number 2, and the person would read it as it was appearing one sentence at a time, okay? And these still actually work really effectively. You've probably seen a lot of people doing them. I haven't done one for a while, but they still work really well. And so for the next, probably 5 or 6 years, everyone's shifted to video sales letters. It was just video sales letters and no copy whatsoever. It's just video, and that was it. And I think that it was so unique at the time. People sitting there, they'd start a video and I can't leave, and they watch the whole video. And for the next 5 or 6 years, those work the best in the world. Now fast forward to today, I've found, and I'm not sure if it's true in every market, but most of the markets I've dabbled in and played with, it's kind of a blend of both. It's not just a sales letter or just a video. It's a blend of both, where there's a video at the top, right? And then the sales letters down below. And a lot of times it's the exact same thing word for word, but you have different modalities that people like to learn from, right? And like to listen. So I'm curious for you guys listening right now, how many of you guys right now like to consume things through video like this? You're like, I just want to watch a video and have someone explain it to me. Okay, if you're a video person, you're number 1. Okay, number two, if you're someone like, I don't like video, I just want to read something, I want to scroll through and be able to read and get the bullet points really fast, you're my readers. Who are my readers? Okay, so if you're a video person, type in video down below. Type video. Okay, now if you're a text person, write text down below. I just want to see like text versus audio, how many there are, okay? Text versus video. My guess is it's probably like 50-50. Half of you guys want to watch videos, half of you guys want to read text. And my guess is for the most part, if it's video, you're just going to bounce. Or if it's a text, you're going to go with the modality you like the most. And so I found for highest conversion today, and this may shift tomorrow, who knows, is having a video up top for the people who want video and having the long form sales letter down below. But it's typically the same copy, but one's for my watchers, one's for my readers. And I notice like if you watch the analytics on a page, you'll see your viewers sitting there and watch the whole video. Whereas your readers come, they watch for like 3 seconds, they pause, they scroll down, they start reading. Okay? And so I like having both. And so most of my videos, sales letters have both elements in it. Okay? All right, so there's a very long story to get you to where we are today for video sales letter funnel. Okay, so here's what a video sales letter funnel looks like. Again, typically I'm going to be selling. They're kind of similar to the unboxing funnels, but you notice that the order form's not at the top. It's because I'm selling something more expensive, so I need more time to explain what it is before I ask somebody for money. Okay, with no-brainer like low ticket, like free plus shipping up to 10, 20, 30 bucks, a lot of times it's okay to have an order form up high because it doesn't take a lot for me to convince somebody to buy. If I'm selling a $500 product, I want to make sure I have the presentation pretty close to done before I say, here's what the price is, okay? And so you notice the order form is usually down below or it's on a separate page. Okay, and so this is kind of structure. There's a video down below that's going to be called a video spoiler box. There's an add to cart button, and down below that I'll have like typically my long form sales letter down below with order form bump and then upsell 1, 2, and thank you. Okay, now I'm not going to go deep in upsell 1, 2, and thank you because those are very similar to what we did in the unboxing funnel. So if you haven't watched those videos yet, go back, watch the unboxing videos because it's the same concept. If I'm selling information product, my upsells are going to be the next logical thing. Okay, if I'm selling physical products, it's going to be more of the same thing at a discount. Okay, so that's what you just got to kind of understand. The upsell pages are very almost identical to the unboxing funnels. Okay, it's just the video sales letter is the thing that's different in this funnel. Okay, so here's an example of a video sales letter we did. This is for the old Funnel University. We had a headline up top, and there's a video of me. And this one I didn't do PowerPoint style. It was me basically doing my presentation, just like I would do a webinar. But this became my webinar, and the entire presentation was here. Okay, so that's how the video sales letter worked. And some of you guys might be thinking, well, Russell, what do I say inside my video sales letter? So I want to do two things. Number one, I want to go back to presentation number 1 to kind of touch upon it. The very first session, we talked about hook story offer. But number 2, if you want to go deep and really understand this, you can study my trainings on the perfect webinar and help you understand exactly how to craft this, okay? But basically it comes back to what I say in the video, you are telling your Epiphany Bridge story. Someone's coming to this video, they're just like you, and you have to remember this. You have to remember what was the emotional experience you had, what's the epiphany, what's the bridge you had that got you over here, okay? And you gotta remember, no tech, no babble. You come back and you're telling them your story. Okay, that's the core concept of what's happening there. Okay, now this is the perfect webinar framework. Okay, I told you guys on session 1, there's 4 core stories, right? the first shot at the big domino is your origin story. So if someone comes to my video, it's like, hey, my name is Russell Brunson. Let me tell you my story about why I think funnels are the fastest way for you to grow your company. And I told the origin story about my Epiphany Bridge origin story about why I believe that this thing I'm about to offer them is the greatest thing in the world. Okay, right? Then from there, I come down and say, okay, what's the vehicle? What are their false beliefs about the vehicle? Now I'm going to tell them the story that hopefully going to trump their story that breaks the false belief they have about the vehicle. Then I move to the second part of this, or the secret number 2, which is their internal beliefs. Like, what's the thing personally? Like, I believe this is a good thing, but I don't think I can do it. Then I tell a story about that. Boom. And then the third thing, again, I believe funnels are the greatest thing in the world. I believe I can actually do it, but I can't do it because I don't know how to drive traffic, right? Or I believe that keto is the best diet for me. I believe I can actually do it, but my wife's going to buy ice cream and I know, and then I'm going to fall out of ketosis and the whole thing's going to fall apart. The external belief, right? So I tell the third story about the external belief, and then from there I move down, I do the stack and the close, okay? And again, if you've read the Expert Secrets book or gone through any of my perfect webinar training, this is stuff we talk about all the time. So I'm not going to go deep into it, but it's me telling my 4 core stories and then making my offer through the stack and the close. Okay, that's what I put in here. Go back. That's what I put into this video right here. Okay, all right. And then if my stories trump theirs, that's the sales video. That's the sales letter. If my story trumps theirs, knocks down the big domino, and they become a customer. That's it. Okay, so that's the first part of the page. I have the headline at top, I have the video sales letter, and then below the video, I have what I call a video spoiler box. I try to get everyone to call it the Brunson box, but nobody ever does. So if you want to like kiss up to me, call it the Brunson box. If you want to call it what it is, it's a video spoiler box. So the video spoiler box, the goal of the video spoiler box is to get someone who's coming down to see the video, like, oh, am I going to watch this or not? And they start kind of going down and you have this opportunity to grab them before they leave, right? It's almost like a preview or a trailer in a movie, right? Like you see the trailer, you're like, okay, I want to watch that. That's what the video spoiler box is to kind of grab them really quick and be like, wait, don't bounce on the video. This is where you're going to learn the video and like hopefully hook them a couple times. So like, oh yeah, I want to be a part of this video. I want to watch this, right? So for me, usually the video spoiler box, I've got 4 different things here. Number 1 is the hook. It's a hook that's inside the video that I'm gonna hook them with, right? So like in this one, for example, secret number 1, tiny tweaks can make a huge changes. I'm gonna show you 4 of my top split tests that are so simple and you can use them in just minutes that will dramatically increase your conversion. Boom, there's a hook, right? And a story and an offer. Like all those things are in there. Like watch this video because you're gonna learn this right here. Number 2, here's the next hook. Boom, not all people buy the same way. Here's a story. Let me show you the secret step that I had before my funnels allowed me to know exactly how to get them to buy. Boom, and then the offer's like, go watch the video. Okay, number 3, secret number 3, there are only 3 funnels that actually matter. We found that 98% of our income came from just 3 funnels. If you're focusing on anything else, you're just flushing your money down the toilet. Hook, story, and the video, the offer's go watch the video, right? And then number 4 here is, what's the next step? Get your 14-day trial membership to funnel. So this is like where we're going, hook, story, and then go watch the video for the offer. Okay, and so that's the video spoiler box that gets them to actually go back and like, I gotta figure out what is number 3, what's number 2? Like it gets them to go back and consume the actual video. Okay, it's crazy to me, like all the highest converting offers I see online from the big, huge brands, the big companies, all have a video spoiler box, and I almost see nobody in our industry ever use these, which blows my mind, but they work very, 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 very good. Okay, so video spoiler box. So that's step number 1 here inside of the funnel. Is that right there. And again, if you're doing a sales letter version, underneath the add to cart button, then I have the whole long form version of the sales letter down there. And then from there, the rest of the funnel is the same as unboxing funnels. Okay, we have an order form bump, we have upsell 1, upsell 2, and thank you page where we can send them to the next funnel or whatever happens to that step. Okay, so that is the video sales letter funnel. That's the first type of presentation funnel. All right, now we move on to funnel number 2, which is a webinar funnel. Now, most of you guys know that the way we grew ClickFunnels, we used a lot of different types of funnels, but the primary way, especially initially, to get us from 0 to 10,000 customers was 100% through webinar funnels. We just had one funnel and we perfected it and we did it over and over and over and over and over again. If you read the Expert Secrets book, the original version, I go through deep about how we did it and how it worked and the process. And basically, we did a webinar at least once a week, every single week. We spent the whole week filling the webinar. We did the webinar, we closed it out, and we kept doing that process over and over and over again. Okay. I still think if I was to start a new company from scratch, the very first funnel that I would focus on is webinar funnel. That'd be the very first thing I would do immediately to get started. I think the majority of people come to my world who are like, hey, Russell, I learned about all the funnels. You know, which one should I do first? For most of you guys, this is the one I'd recommend you do first. Not everybody. Like if you're selling physical products, I probably wouldn't start with the webinar. But if you're selling any type of information products, any type of coaching, consulting, all those kind of things, webinar funnel is still my favorite. So take that for what it's worth. All right, webinar funnels. This is what a basic webinar funnel looks like. It's very simple and very basic. There's a page people register. There's a thank you page, thank you for registering. Then they actually have the webinar that happens somewhere. And then at the end of the webinar, you sell them your offer. Okay, there's an order form. That's kind of it. It's very simple and very easy, right? So for example, this is the webinar funnel that built ClickFunnels. Okay, it's not difficult, it's not complicated, but there's some strategy to understand it. How, like, again, there's the framework and then the things we weave into the framework. So let me walk you through that. So you saw the framework, let me walk you through the art that goes into it, okay? So the first is the registration page. Now, a couple things on registration page. The more curiosity you weave into the registration page, the higher your registration rate will be, okay? Listen to how much curiosity is in this headline. My weird niche funnel that's currently making me $17,947 per day and how to ethically knock it off in less than 10 minutes. Okay. My weird niche funnel, like that causes curiosity. It's currently making 17 grand a day. Like what? 17 grand a day, and how to ethically knock it off. How do you ethically knock something off? That makes no logical sense whatsoever. And you do it in less than 10 minutes, like there's so much curiosity. Even the image, you're like, why is Russell like hang loose? Like what's he doing? He's holding a web page and like, it's just weird, right? And so much curiosity, like, I don't know what this is, but I need to register. Okay, so this is what we use to launch ClickFunnels. And I was doing this webinar, honestly, it was 3 to 5 times a week during the first 4 or 5 months of ClickFunnels, and we got down to like two times a week, and then by the end it was once a week. And until we got from 0 to the first 10,000 members was by me doing this webinar over and over and over and over again. Okay, that was the hook that got people in. Okay, so that's page number 1. After they register, then the next page is our thank you page. We say, thank you so much for registering. The webinar is happening Tuesday or it's happening Friday or whatever that thing might be, okay? Here I like to give them reminders, like don't forget, put it on your calendar, like all the things so they're not gonna forget about the webinar, okay? And then the next thing you can do here is you can there's a couple of different methodologies, but basically it's like you can make them an offer on the thank you page. If the webinar's not for 2 more days, like you have this gap right now. What if you create something that you can put on the thank you page that you could then sell to get to recoup the advertising costs that you spent to get someone to buy here? Okay, sometimes we call this a self-liquidating offer. So like I put an offer right here like, hey, before you come to the webinar, go buy this $20 ebook. It's gonna help you understand blah. It's gonna help you when you get on the webinar, right? Something like that. So this is a great spot where you can sell something. What we did when we launched ClickFunnels is we told people to go get a 2 free trial. They registered for the webinar. I said, webinar's coming up. To prepare for the webinar, go get a free trial of the ClickFunnels and just try it out. And so we got people to go and create an account here and create their account at ClickFunnels before they came. And I also said, get an account at ClickFunnels and buy your .com Secrets book. So by getting everyone to register for webinar, we start pushing them to the next steps in our value ladder. Go get a free trial, go buy my book, and gets them into the buying process. Okay, so that's kind of what happens. Registration page, thank you page. Now, inside ClickFunnels, we don't have software that actually runs the webinar. Okay, so the ones that we typically use, either GoToWebinar or Zoom, are 2 amazing webinar platforms, and they integrate into ClickFunnels. Okay, so if you look at page number 1, this page right here, this is built in ClickFunnels, and I integrated either GoToWebinar or Zoom into this funnel. So when someone clicks on it, they put the email address in, it goes and creates the webinar inside of Zoom or GoToWebinar. Okay, so then what happens now is when the webinar happens, Thursday at 2 or whenever you're doing it, boom, they log in to GoToWebinar, log into Zoom, and there's a live video of you doing your presentation, okay? And that's it. So this is an example of a GoToWebinar that me and Jim Edwards did where we were selling funnel scripts, okay? It's just a live presentation of us selling our thing. You might be wondering, well, Russell, what do I say to this presentation? Well, let me guess. You should guess. You're gonna do this. You're gonna tell your epiphany story about why you care about this thing, why it's so exciting. Okay, you're gonna tell your origin story at the very beginning, your first push of the big domino. They're gonna tell your story about your vehicle, about internal beliefs, your external beliefs, and you're gonna do the stack and the close. Okay, literally perfect webinar 101. You're gonna go watch that training and read the Expert Secrets book, master it, and that's the presentation you give. Okay, and if you do that, you do the right, all dominoes will fall. At the end of the webinar, they're gonna rush to the order form to give you money. Now, one big thing to understand, we tested this like crazy. On the order form, you don't want to go and like do a long form sales that are re-explaining everything. I've seen more people talk someone out of a sale with their order form than anything else. But if they go to your order form, they are ready to buy. All you do is you just let them buy. Like that's it. Don't like, I usually have a recap like, here's everything you're getting in the offer, here's a picture of it, give me your credit card. Okay, it's just very simple, very easy. I'm not trying to go and make this more complicated than that. Okay, all right. And then in the webinar funnel, after it's live, we usually put up a replay page, which is a simple page in ClickFunnels, replay page, and we usually will give them some urgency and scarcity, like, hey, the replay is gonna be up for 2 days, go check it out. And we'll have a couple emails saying, talking about urgency and scarcity. This page, we're pulling the replay down in 24 hours, in 12 hours, in 3 hours it's gone, and then that pushes people through the cycle of urgency and scarcity, okay? And that's basically how the webinar funnel works. And like I said, that's how we built ClickFunnels. What's interesting is, if you look at year 1 of ClickFunnels, when the year ended, we had 10,000 members in ClickFunnels. And what happened is we had about 2,500 people who bought ClickFunnels from the webinar. We had a $1,000 version back then. So 2,500 people bought from the webinar. And from that, remember on the thank you page, I told people to go get a free trial. For every person that bought the $1,000 version of ClickFunnels, what was the number? 3 people stuck on the trial. Okay, so at the end of year 1, we had 2,500 people pay $1,000, and we had 7,500 people who were on trial paying $97 a month. Okay, and that was the foundation of how we built and launched and grew ClickFunnels. Okay, so that's why webinar funnels are so powerful. Now, there's a variation for those of you guys who either have a webinar presentation that's killing it, or you don't want to do live webinars, which I can go on a rant another day. You should do a live webinar at least like 100 times before you automate it. But when you're ready, you can create an automated webinar funnel, which is very similar, but there's some different intricacies, okay? So basically, the way an auto webinar funnel works is someone registers, and then the webinar actually happens in ClickFunnels. It's a video presentation of your webinar. It happens on ClickFunnels, and from there, it pushes in the order form. Okay, it's very simple. So for example, this is our funnel scripts webinar. We did it live. Jim Edwards and I did it live initially through a regular webinar funnel. Then when it was done, we took that presentation that was recorded, it converted great, and we put it here. So we made a webinar registration page. And notice this one's saying, hey, the webinar's starting today at 10:30 a.m. So you got 8 minutes before it starts. Come register. They register it. And it takes them to the next page. Oh, and then here's another variation. This is our secretfunnelstrategy.com. Same thing. We got a webinar right here. They register for it. They get a 48-hour pass. So it says, registered, you got 48 hours to watch this presentation. Okay, and then boom, and from there it takes them to the actual broadcast room where it's the webinar video embedded on the page. So this is me and Jim doing our webinar on the page. This is me at the 10X GrowthCon doing my presentation. Videos embedded on the page, and they're both there. Now, a couple of things you'll notice that are kind of fun on the 10X Secrets one on the right-hand side. Number one is notice down below the video what we did. It says 10x Growth Conference timestamps. I have these timestamps in there. Does that look like anything to you guys? This is a modified video spoiler box. Okay? It's me taking bullet points of all the important things that happen throughout the presentation, all the little hooks that I can use to grab someone in there, right? So it's a timestamp. At 1 minute 53, I'm going to show you how to instantly outspend your competitors and capture more potential customers in your market. Number two, at 11 minutes 22 seconds, you're going to learn that the life you want, the marriage you want, the family you want is going to be fueled by the businesses you build, and so on and so forth. So I have all these little hooks down there, a little modified video spoiler box to get them to watch the presentation. I've done all of my presentations, but we did it here. It's working great. I also on this one have a little button that says read transcripts, and I click on there, it opens up a new page where someone can we took the whole presentation, made a huge long sales letter, and they can read it. So I have a version for my people that like video, and my version for people who like to read text. And I have people who literally will come here and they'll download the transcripts, print them out, and they'll sit there and read them on their page, read them like a newspaper and circle things, and then that gets them to go and buy. So I have both modalities there. Okay, so understand, you don't have to do all these things. Most of my funnels, I don't have a video and the transcript and the video spoiler box. Those are the art that I'm weaving into the funnel framework. Okay, because the funnel framework is simple: registration page where we actually show the presentation, and then order form. Okay, but I'm just weaving in my art. That's why I want to show you both of these because they're similar, but they're both different as well. Okay, and then here's the order form. Again, order form simple. There's no me reselling. It's just saying here's a recap of all the things you're going to get, and then here's where you put in your credit card. Okay. And then obviously after someone registers, we have email sequences that push them to go watch the webinar. We have urgency and scarcity. We gave them a 48-hour pass. After 48 hours, then 24 hours, then 12 hours, and 3 hours. And then from there, we pull the webinar presentation down for them. Okay? So the email sequences move them through emotion and logic and fear, urgency and scarcity. Okay, so those are the different webinar funnels. All right? Okay, I got one more funnel type to show you guys. All right, so the third funnel type is a product launch funnel. Now, a product launch funnel was made famous by my friend Jeff Walker. And Jeff Walker, he actually, when we launched the .com Secrets book initially, he won the affiliate contest. And I gave away a Ferrari that I'd won in another affiliate contest, and he won it. So Jeff is a really, really smart guy, and he's pioneered this. It's been used by so many people. It's not my personal favorite funnel type, just because I love webinars so well. But people who like product launches, they kill it. And I've done a bunch of them as well. I'll kind of show you guys the process because it is a really powerful funnel type. So number one, here's the funnel structure. This is the framework of what a product launch funnel looks like. Okay, the very first page is a free workshop where you get someone's email address. Okay, the lead magnet is this workshop. Okay, they opt in, then there's a video. Number one, there's a video and people leave comments down below, and then a couple days later they get video 2 with comment. People can comment down below. A couple days later, video 3, they comment down below, and then a couple days later they get video 4 where they make an offer, and then it takes them to an order form, and then from there they buy the product. Okay, so that's what the product launch funnel looks like. Jeff Walker calls this a sideways sales letter, which is kind of interesting. So he says basically, typically most people have this long form sales letter selling it. He's like, all I'm doing is I'm tipping this sales letter on the side, boom. And the video number 1 is me teaching the very first part of my sales letter. Video 2 is the second part of the sales letter. Video 3 would be the third part, and video 4 is the fourth part. Okay, so he's extending this consumption of this training / selling over a period of time. Okay, and it might be each day they get a new video. Sometimes it's every 3 days, every 5 days they get a new video. But that's kind of how it's structured and how it's set up. Okay, all right, so let me show you how this works. So page number 1 is your lead magnet. You're giving away a free workshop. Okay, so hey, opt in here. I'm gonna give you a free workshop about how to build your funnels quickly, or whatever it might be, right? So that's video number 1. They put their name and email address in, and then boom, now it unlocks the lead magnet, which is this workshop. Okay, so video number 1, boom, they get the first video, which is the first part of the workshop. And they get video number 2 a couple days later, video number 3 a couple days later, and that's kind of how it works. Some of you guys might be wondering, well, Russell, what do I say in those videos? Okay, you're never gonna guess. Okay, literally, you tell your stories, right? You tell your Epiphany Bridge stories about your thing. Okay, what's interesting is when I do mine, I use the same perfect webinar framework. Okay, video number 1 is my origin story and my story about the vehicle. That's video number 1. Video number 2 is talking about the internal beliefs. Video number 3 then is going into the external beliefs. And number 4 is doing the stack and the close. Okay, so again, if you've studied the perfect webinar or read the Expert Secrets book, you know this framework already. It's just taking those stories in that order. And now video number 1 is your origin and vehicle. Video 2 is internal beliefs. Video 3 is external beliefs. Video 4 is your stack and your close. Okay, it's again, he calls it sideways sales letter. It's the same thing. I'm taking this structured sales presentation that's proven to work over and over and over again. I'm just tipping outside. I'm giving them this first chunk first, second chunk later, third chunk later, fourth chunk later. Okay? And if I do this presentation right, I do the video 1, 2, 3, 4 correctly, then my stories will trump theirs and their big dollar amount is gonna fall and they're gonna go to the order form and they're gonna buy my product. Okay? Video number 4, again, is the stack and the close. This is where I basically do my presentation. If I come back to module number 1 of this training course, I showed you guys the first 15 minutes is my origin story, second 15 minutes is secret 1, secret 2, secret 3, the first hour, and the last 30 minutes is my stack and my close. That's what this presentation is. This is my stack and my close I do for 30 minutes here. Okay, so here's the product launch funnel. Again, free workshop page, this is the framework. Video 1, video 2, video 3, video 4 is where they get the offer. Okay, and that's the product launch funnel. Okay, do you guys see how, if you look at any of the funnels here, the presentation funnels, it's not something brand new you got to learn or discover, right? It's taking, here's my presentation. There's different ways I can show that. Number 1 is I show it just as a video sales letter, right? Or number 2, I do it as a webinar. Someone registers and I do that presentation live in a live webinar, right? Or number 2.5 is I take my live one and I replicate the process by building out that auto webinar structure, but I'm building it out in an automated webinar, right? Or number 3 is I'm taking that video, that presentation, I'm chopping up into video 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, but it's the same presentation. It's just 3 different ways to deliver that presentation. Okay, so that's what's so core to understanding. At this level of the value ladder, when you're selling something from $500 to a couple $1,000s, you sell it through a presentation. The presentation is the same. Okay, if you've been geeking out with me at all over the last couple of years, talking about perfect webinar, expert secrets, all this stuff like that, presentation has not changed or shifted at all, even 1 iota. All it's done is you're just taking that presentation and you're delivering it through a couple different ways. Okay, and each of them, there's pros and cons of every single one of them, but that shows you the frameworks of how they work. And now you just got to go take your art, your stories, your things that you've kind of figured out, your offers, and you're weaving those things into the funnel structure for your presentation funnel. Does that make sense? Okay, all right, so if you look at that right now, we have covered lead funnels, our lead funnel, survey funnel, summit funnels, your unboxing funnels, your book funnel, your cart funnel, your challenge funnel, and now we've talked about presentation funnels, our video sales letter funnel, our webinar funnels, and our product launch funnels. So we're gonna break here in a few minutes for lunch and to kind of get ready for the next session. The last session here we're gonna be talking about is the back of the value ladder. How do you sell really expensive things? Things from 8,000 to 10 to 15 to 18 to 25 to 36 to 50 to 100,000 and $1 million and below. Okay, if your business is something that's selling those type of things or you want to be someday in the future, that's what these phone funnels are for. They're powerful, they're simple, they're easy to use. And now when you understand the structure of those, you can weave your art into it and you can sell really high, expensive things very, very quickly. So with that said, thanks you guys so much. We'll take a 30-minute break, a little 27-minute break or so. And when we come back, we will jump into back-end phone funnels. Thanks you guys, and we'll talk to you all in a few minutes.
If I had to predict where I would be 1 year from the day I signed up to join Russell's Mastermind, I could never have predicted the growth. It has been a life-changing experience.
Funnel Hacking Live is an event that is put on by Russell Brunson, where he shares with internet entrepreneurs exactly how to accelerate their success by using a software that he created called ClickFunnels to create websites that actually make sales in a very easy way for people who are looking to succeed online.
ClickFunnels came out of nowhere. They took the marketplace by storm, just like Apple did when they first launched the iPhone. It was not a linear move anymore. It was a quantum move in improvement that opened up a gap to allow people just like you and me who are not technically savvy. We weren't born in the matrix and we didn't have a chip implanted in our heads. We're not engineers or computer science majors. An opportunity to cut and decrease the time of stress and anxiety and suffering behind a keyboard, trust me.
You can talk bad about my mama, but you cannot talk bad about ClickFunnels, because what ClickFunnels has done for my business, I can't even begin to tell you.
Russell's just make it so simple for anybody to just instantly get it.
So authentic.
One of the most genuinely nice individuals and human beings you will ever meet.
Breaks it down really easy.
He's just a risk taker, he's a mover and a shaker.
The first time I spoke with him, immediately I knew I was playing small.
We took these guys to an exotic car racing place.
What's better than getting in an exotic car? It's called dream racing, right? Like all it is a dream in some people's mind. Being able to go to the dream racing track, the exotic track, and get into a Lamborghini and get into an Aston Martin. And what it seeds is you tell it either it's going to be a dream or it's going to be a reality. And it's really up to you.
Russell was running a contest. He was going to give his Ferrari F430. All I did was tell the world about this awesome book, and I got this Ferrari, which is just absolutely ridiculous.
That instills in you that necessity to really give to other people. I think we're over $25,000 right now for World Teacher Aid. Every single funnel that gets created, $1 gets donated to World Teacher Aid.
I think Russell was able to raise money for 2 schools, and that's huge.
They were all excited to be there and excited to be in that room.
Being an entrepreneur, I would say it's like the loneliest job in the world because it's kind of you and your thoughts, and you see other people and you kind of connect, but not like in a real way with them. I like bringing people together. It just gives you the ability to be around other people who are like you, who think like you, and who believe like you. And for me, every time I get around good entrepreneurs, like my vision gets bigger.
You're literally sitting next to people who are doing $1 million, other people who are just brand new. Everyone who's here, they want to share and they want to see everyone else succeed.
I come to a live event where Russell can guide me, where people next to me are smarter than me.
And they share information that's absolutely priceless.
I wanted real ClickFunnels members to come and to speak. This funnel type Russell talked about, this is what I did, how I did, and how I'm making 100 grand a month, and all of a sudden it like becomes real.
You get to hear more stories and more action plans, more principles to business.
In the trenches, what's working now, information.
If you want results faster, here's a faster hack. Go this way.
Here's the concept, and then boom, here's it working for someone just like you, and that was my favorite part.
It will accelerate your success like nothing else out there.
There's just been so many tools out there. Very few have been aggregated to do everything you need to do to create success.
ClickFunnels is an amazing software that allows you to sell a product online quicker and faster than anything you've ever seen in your life.
It's just a simple way of making pages that convert. You know, I mean, they're like business-oriented templates that already start beautiful, but that you can very easily customize. It doesn't seem like it takes an hour or two, it takes 3 hours, and I have a whole funnel built, and then I just go.
You know, in one day, you can get that idea, you can be live.
You can take that idea out of your head and you can actually make it real.
Authors, speakers, high-end coaching. We do marketing products for real estate agents.
T-shirts.
Every kind of person is here, and that's awesome. Whenever we think about hacks, tips, and tricks, right, it's like the fast way to do it.
It's about taking best practices from people who have already proven what works.
Funnel hacking isn't about stealing, it's about modeling and creating your own spin on something that's already working.
I think entrepreneurship is being hacked here.
It's people who are doing stuff. Every single session that I've been in has pretty much been a standing ovation.
The caliber of speakers, Marcus Lemonis, Sean Stevenson, Russell has those people here at the event.
Russell Brunson, he genuinely wants to make a difference in the lives of many, 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 many people.
He gets more excited about the success of others than he does about his own success.
He really cares about the bigger picture in terms of where this is all going.
He's helping tens of thousands of people grow businesses.
The event is where you get clarity and courage, to get confidence, to do what I know I need to do.
I was from Christchurch, New Zealand, no one knew me, and now I have a global audience.
Literally been the impetus between my business not even being to it being at a multi-six-figure level in 6 months.
Couldn't have done that with the yellow pages.
I see opportunity, I see all of the open potential and horizons that are at my fingertips.
is just way more than the platform itself.
You can fast track your way to success.
My name is John Zachariah.
My name is Bonnie Faye.
This is Gary White.
I use ClickFunnels.
I use ClickFunnels.
My entire company uses ClickFunnels.
And it's my favorite platform there is.
It will transform your life.
Thank you for joining us on this trip, and we're looking forward to seeing you on board.
All it takes is one great idea, one big thing that's implemented, and everybody's just one funnel away from having the life they've always wanted.
You're just one funnel away from becoming a weight loss coach, becoming a bestseller, becoming a company with a foundation.
A funnel is what builds your business now.
I don't think there's a business alive that this would not be transformed by.
As soon as you walk into the hotel, you just feel this overwhelming energy.
One thing I can say about Funnel Hacking Live, I know this is going to be one of those hub spots where leaders in our industry come together, where the gurus all come together.
All of these people are hustlers. Everybody is working on something. So there's this camaraderie that you can't find anywhere else.
We're all going after the exact same mission, which is impact and income.
The people in our industry doing so many different sorts of things, crushing it. Your beliefs are built up as far as what's possible. The go-getters, the people getting it done, the people that you feel like, man, I can never connect with them, they're here.
You're not only getting people who all consume and play off the same playbook, they're showing you specific examples of it in action, and it's not theoretical. Everything actually works.
He brings in the best of the best. You get these people that are worth millions of dollars and they're just sharing with you their tips and their strategies, and you just grow exponentially. It's electrifying.
You gotta be around people that are killing it so that you can continue to kill it and you can grow and do even greater things.
This 2 Comma Club, that basically means that I've sold over $1 million online.
So imagine you're getting this platinum plaque if you were a Grammy Award-winning artist who sold 1 million copies, but instead you sold $1 million through ClickFunnels.
In this room alone, there's literally over 100 millionaires. And if that doesn't speak to why everyone should be here, I don't know what will.
Russell gives you the education with his product.
He'll take complex things and he'll make them very easy to understand and, most important, implement.
He legitimately is here to help entrepreneurs create amazing lives.
He has the biggest heart. But if you want to make money and you want to make a difference, this is the perfect event for you.
We are funnel hackers. Here to remind you one more time that your life you want, the marriage you want, and the family that you want is going to be fueled by the businesses that you build. You're only one funnel away.
When we're growing up, we learn a lot of things about life from life that are just not true.
6 days a week, 1 day off a week, 1 week off every 6 months.
And I wish I had someone to educate me that college was going to bring me food stamps.
Now I know some of you are feeling that indecision, that uncertainty. Well, today's the day that you change the world.
Start small by admitting that there's something that you want to do and you don't know how to do it.
Some of you are not willing to be bad at something long enough to get good at it.
After all the money invested, after all the time, after all the hope, I'm in the same place. But here's what's interesting, when you make a decision and when you become something else, it's much easier the next time.
Because we are crazy, agreed? That's what we do as entrepreneurs. We explore.
It is easy to assume that it's talent. I don't believe in talent. I believe in good habits.
If you know that your thing can truly help people, it's your duty to make sure as many people get it as possible.
It reminds them of their journey and where they're at and that they can keep moving forward. And they're counting on you.
And that's why we get up every morning and create a new reality, come back to the present and insist it becomes real.
You don't have to be me, but there is one game that you cannot lose in,
Like me, little old me, a stay-at-home mom, history major from college, didn't know anything about fitness.
1 year ago,
I was sitting in your seat
at the last Funnel Hacking Live.
And the lesson is like, this is your family and your new home.
It started with the people.
You have to take that identity as a funnel hacker and you have to say,
Magnitude of the pain will equal the magnitude of the reward. It has to be that way.
My funnels work because I work.
I honestly believe the entrepreneurs are the only people that can actually change this planet. We're the ones that are crazy enough to go out there and try to change things.
Like a good funnel hacker, I said,
I can, I will, end of story. That's what we're here to do today.
I meant what I said about you up there. I don't say things lightly. I have such respect for you, Russell. And what I love that you're doing now is you're teaching them to be givers and seeing the value of that and getting hooked on that. You know, to me, that's the most important thing about it. So congratulations, man.
Every single time you have a funnel that makes over $1 million, we're going to send you one of these amazing trophies to put on your wall. We decided to call it a True Comma Club Award.
Beneath the gaze of the Nashville sun, life at Funnel Hacking Live begins to take form. A sight not to be missed. Here we can see the migration of nearly 5,000 funnel hackers descend upon an unsuspecting hotel. For a brief period of 4 days, this habitat will dramatically change. The funnelist hackiformis are a rare species, but ever growing by the thousands each passing day. Throughout the year, most of us do not see them, often questioning their existence if it weren't for their countless retargeting ads. They wake in the early morning hours and are usually found in a crowded gym, mentoring the curious young hacklings, rejoicing in the sun by the watering hole for a brief moment, and of course, recording more ads because the backdrop is just stunning. They congregate in what's known to scientists as a joint venture. The outfit of choice being matching t-shirts and undergarments, signifying the bond that ties this dispersed breed together. This is amplified by a greeting ritual of an endless myriad of high fives, hugs, acro yoga, and handshakes, from the field to the bush. In the early hours, they descend upon one single enclosure. As the doors swing open, the hackers spring into motion, flocking at 30 miles per hour in a race towards seat supremacy. Only the most spirited will lay claim to a coveted view. From there, they revel at the arrival of the alphas, who impart their wisdom from prior hunts. During this time, their feeding ritual is complex. Many subspecies survive on a diet of coffee and water, which often unintentionally creates a conflict of having to choose between absorbing knowledge and going to the bathroom. As the voyage comes to an end, they celebrate with a multitude of unpolished dance rituals. And whatever this is, a pleasing sensation. They have replenished their minds and spirits and are fit to return to the wild. FHL is a unique anthropological phenomenon, fit for the most peculiar of entrepreneurs. Those that have discovered that running a business without a funnel is just stupid.
ClickFunnels Funnel Hacker Family Reunion.
Here's to the crazy ones.
My funnels work because I work.
Entrepreneurs are the only people that can actually change this planet. Every day we have a chance to wake up and figure out what we're going to create, what we're going to make, whose lives we're going to change, which is the most exciting thing in the world.
Does this feel like a family reunion or what?
I'm going to ask you to listen, maybe like you've never listened before.
You would be making millions and reaching millions if you knew. That is how powerful this model is.
You guys have an unfair advantage by being a funnel hacker.
But here's the key, funnel hackers, listen up.
The more you understand behavioral psychology, the better marketers you'll be.
When it comes to my funnel, when it comes to my business, what are the facts of my fruit?
Just start. Your people will find you. As you find your voice, your people will find you. But you cannot find your voice until you start, until you begin, until you start moving forward.
Everything that you're learning here over the next couple days, just do it!
The energy at FHL is like nothing else you can imagine at a convention.
The crazy part that you'll find in any room when it comes to funnel hacking live.
It's everything you could hope for. There's heart, there's family, there's community.
And you see Russell's face everywhere you go.
The men and women on stage with 2 Comma Club awards, 10X awards.
People are dancing on stage when you come in.
You're getting high fives on the way in.
That's why Funnel Hacking Live exists.
It's like better than a nightclub.
There's a feeling to this room.
The energy is so powerful. There's 4,500 people here today that want to make a difference.
There's nothing like this audience.
People are running in.
They're excited. And this is what funnel hacking does. Guys, you want to be here.
I went through probably 12 business tries and they were all complete failures. I kept getting the questions from relatives, is this the one that you're gonna be successful with?
And I spent many years growing a few businesses and just struggling, feeling completely alone, isolated, my head down to the grindstone, hoping to figure out the way.
Finding ClickFunnels like a little boy finding a flashlight in the woods, lost at night. It's been a flashlight for us. It's brought us home.
Being in the same room with the software company and the teaching and the coaching that freed me from the bonds of debt, it was really, really emotional. It was intense.
I felt a little internal nudge.
I couldn't explain it. I knew if I got in the room at Funnel Hacking Live, things would change.
I didn't know what to expect. I was really excited to just see what this whole world is about.
I am a college student. The only reason I'm here is because I begged my parents to buy me the ticket for Christmas.
Getting here the first day thinking like, this is an internet marketing conference. It was thousands of people.
From the moment you walk in the door, there's heart, there's family, there's community. It is like walking into your own ecosystem.
And I see all these individuals from different walks of lives, and they're just like, how are you? What's your name? What do you do?
Even though we're all coming from different businesses doing different things, you've never met somebody, but you have this commonality.
So much personality, so much expression, and people tie their hair different colors and wearing crazy suits.
People are dancing on stage when you come in early in the morning.
So I have a marketing degree, and I have no idea what I learned in it.
We have no marketing skills, no business skills of any kind.
Yeah, I got my whole money's worth off the first speech of the first day. And I called my dad and I said, no, like this was worth more than my entire 5 years I spent.
Somebody asked me yesterday, they said, who was your favorite speaker? And I said, in regards to what?
Being able to get around 6, 7, 8, 9-figure earners, you can't put a price on that.
Russell's not just someone who's passionate about sharing. What he's done has just revolutionized the industry. And he's just on a mission to allow people to go faster.
What's the new thing? How does it work? How do we integrate it? How do we deploy it? How do we explain it to people?
It's not a possibility anymore, it's a reality.
When they describe ClickFunnels as a family, it doesn't make sense till you have been here.
To be around people who are just as crazy and obsessed as me.
There's 4,500 people here today that want to make a difference.
It's mission and money, and you need them both.
That's what ClickFunnels really stands for. So the truth is amazing things happen when you're willing to do them.
You see possibilities that you never could have seen.
You can excel that business.
God, it's like, pinch me. Is this real? My life just changed. It's just fun.
It's a phenomenon.
It's an oasis, man.
It feels like family. It feels like home.
I just feel blessed to be able to be a part of it.
And the gift of that, you know, that's everything.
What's up, everybody? I hope you are feeling good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little tired. This has been a lot of work for the last couple of days, but not nearly as much work as is gonna be happening at Funnel Hacking Live. So this is like me working out, doing the bench press before I go on stage and like flex, right? So maybe that makes no sense, but I'm pumped. This has been a lot of fun, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you are enjoying it, again, keep commenting down below. Like your comments mean the world to me. You have no idea. It's really fun for me to be reading these during the breaks and at nights and everything like that. And so I'm sure this weekend I'm going to go and geek out and read a bunch of them before we pull all the videos down forever. By the way, don't forget to get the special offer. I'll talk about it again in the end, but just want to make sure you guys are getting your tickets to Funnel Hacking Live because it's going to be so much fun to have you there. All right, so we're towards the end now. We're going to be going through phone funnels, and I'm excited. This is, I'll talk about some of the stories behind this, but phone funnels like changed so many things for me and for so many people in our industry. And a lot of people, this is the only funnel they do. So for some of you guys, this will be the funnel. So hopefully you guys enjoy it and get excited by it. Anything else I need to say? I don't think so. Just make sure you're loud, make some lot of comments. So keep my energy going crazy for you guys. This is session 6 of 6 for the new Funnelology Masterclass. So again, I appreciate you guys hanging out for the last couple of days, and hopefully you've been enjoying it. All right, with that said, I'm jumping back up here, and let's get started. All right, here we go. Hey everyone, it's Russell Brunson. Welcome back to session number 6 of the Funnelology Masterclass, the new art and science of funnel building. I hope you've been enjoying all of these sessions so far. We've covered a lot of stuff, and hopefully it's helping you guys really understand these frameworks. I think a lot of times people think this marketing stuff is super complicated or hard or frustrating, and it's like, when in all reality, it's simple frameworks. It's just understanding like, oh, here's the frameworks, here's how they fit together, here's what I'm gonna pick, and here's what I'm gonna focus on, and then inside of there is where you have a chance to kind of weave your products, your services, your art into those frameworks. And so now we're gonna be walking you guys through the last the last framework here inside of the value ladder. So for any of you guys who are just tuning in now for the first time, session number 1, we talked a lot about the secret formula and hook story offer. Number 2, we talked about the value ladder. And then 3, 4, 5, and now 6, we're talking about all the different funnels at each step in the value ladder. And now we're moving up to the back end, which are our phone funnels. And phone funnels are fun because if you're looking at how in the world do I sell a $10,000 product. People tell me all the time, like, well, Russell, I sell, $10,000 thing or $100,000 consulting, or I'm selling big, huge, whatever projects, right? They're too expensive. It's not going to work through a funnel. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, these work perfectly through a funnel. Okay. Every type of thing you're trying to sell will work in a funnel. You just have to be strategic and think about how is this going to work for me? Okay. For some reason, our default in our brain as humans is to have something come to us and like, oh, that's not going to work for me. And instead of stopping and saying, well, how could this work for me? And by shifting your question, it shifts everything inside your mind. Literally, like any company can come to me and within 2 or 3 minutes, I'm like, oh, just do a phone funnel, but shift it like this and make it work here. Or do that. Like, it's really simple when you start understanding the frameworks. And so if any of you guys are still stuck at this point, you're like, I don't know how this is going to work for me. Just start thinking like, how can this work? Like how would I do this funnel? Is there a way I can make this funnel work for me? Like, what would I have to tweak? What changes do I have to make? How do I apply my art to this structure to make it so it's actually going to work for me? And that's the magic. That's why I love funnels. They're so much fun because there's like the art and the science. They both kind of tie together. And when you do it together, it's fun and you can make a ton of money, obviously, with it. So here's kind of a recap. We started at lead funnels, the bottom value ladder. Then that was session 3. Session 4, we did unboxing funnels. Session 5, we did presentation funnels. Now we are at the top of the value ladder inside of our phone funnels. That's where we're going to be hanging out today, inside of phone funnels. And so honestly, inside phone funnels, there's only one funnel that we're really going to show. There's a couple of variations of it, so you'll be able to learn some different ways to do it, but it really is just one pretty simple funnel, okay? And so inside of phone funnels, what we're going to talk about today, a couple things. Number 1, I'm going to talk about a concept called takeaway selling. This is one of the keys to understand. I'm going to show you guys the case study phone funnel. I'm going to show you guys, there's 2 ways to do it. One is a case study, or number 2 is a success story. So takeaway selling, the best way to explain this is typically when you're selling something, what are you doing? You are like chasing after someone, saying, hey, do you want to buy this thing? Do you want to buy this thing? Do you want to buy this thing? You're going after them. Takeaway selling is where you make an amazing offer and then you walk away. You tell people, this is probably not for you. If you think you want this, let me know, but you're kind of pushing it away, okay? And I think a lot of times selling gets a bad rep because it's the used car salesman, the cliche of like going out there and like trying to pitch you and trying to push you really, really hard. And it's like, that way is not the best way to sell. And takeaway selling is a little bit different when you understand psychology, but it makes it so much more powerful. It gives you a better positioning. It's better all around. So to kind of put this in perspective, this is, if you rewind probably 8 or 9 years ago now, I had built up my very first sales company. We had a sales floor. I had 60 full-time salespeople. This is a picture from that sales floor. And all these people, what would happen, somebody would buy something online, and then we'd call them on the phone, like, oh, you bought this free DVD, you bought this free book, you bought this CD, whatever. Hey, do you want to buy coaching? And we start selling coaching through this process. We were salespeople. We were going after our potential customers and selling them, okay? And it took us 60 full-time people to be able to call and generate revenue. Okay. Now, fast forward a couple years after we kind of started this whole process, it built up, and it turns out that managing 60 full-time salespeople is a nightmare. It's horrible. It's miserable. Don't ever do it. At least not me. And so eventually shut the whole thing down. And I was like, I will never do that again. That was really painful. But the nice thing about it is we were selling $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 things on the phone. So I saw the value and the power of like, man, if I get someone on the phone, I can sell something way more expensive. Okay, because it's more intimate. I can make a sell one-on-one. I can figure out their exact concerns. I can adjust those concerns. So it's really powerful. But the problem is like I had to manage 60 full-time people to do it. And so fast forward a couple years after, I took like a 2 or 3 year break. We didn't sell anything on the phones. And then we had this idea. I said, what if we try to figure out a way to build a funnel that would replace all these 60 full-time salespeople? What if there's a way to do that? And so we built a sales funnel that basically, what it did is it created a process where instead of us calling and like chasing people to sell them something, it created amazing leads, application leads, where they told us all the information about their name, their phone number, how much money they make, where they live, what their goals are like. And these leads came to us. It wasn't just like a name email lead, but a whole full lead where I knew everything about them. I knew their desires, their pain points, and everything. And they were pre-sold on why they should work with me. And so we started creating these application leads. And then instead of having 60 sales guys, I had just 2. And what's crazy is after about a year of us testing and refining and perfecting this process, we were able to make as much money with 2 salespeople in the sales funnel that we did with 60 full-time salespeople before. It was really, really amazing. And so it all comes down to this process of takeaway selling. So let me explain takeaway selling some more. Number 1 is that when you're doing takeaway selling, you are not selling them, they are selling you. Okay, that's the shift. All right, so the question then you gotta start asking yourself is, what is the result that your dream customer wants, right? At the top of the value ladder, right? They've come through here. We talked about this day number 1, right? You got the bottom of the value ladder coming up here, and now you're at the top right here, and this is the big result. Like, what is the big result that they want, right? So for me, if you come into my world, the big result you want is you want to be able to have a funnel that's going to grow your company, right? For you, it might be I want to be able to lose weight. I want to be able to invest in finances better. Like whatever it is, like what's the big result that somebody's going to get if they start working with you, okay? So you have to figure out what is that big result. And then the next question you got to ask yourself is, what is a case study of how you've already achieved that for yourself or for others? Okay, my guess is if you're selling this, hopefully you've already done this thing yourself, right? I've already made $1 million in a funnel. I've already lost a bunch of weight. I've already achieved this thing. And I'm going to show you through my value ladder how to get this result, right? And so the first case is, how have you done it for yourself? But the second one's even better, is how have you done it for others? Okay, that's the key to how to make this funnel work, okay? And so the first process I'm gonna show you is what we call a case study funnel. So the way a case study funnel works, it's very simple. It's one of our high ticket funnels. The very first page right here is I'm gonna share a case study about how I already got this result, or how somebody I worked with got this result because of working with me, okay? So I have the case study right here. They go through the case study, they watch it, at the end of the case, they're like, man, I want this same result that he got, or the same result that person that they talked about got. Okay, then they click on the apply button, they put their email address, and then the second page is taken over here where they have a long form application. Here's where they're gonna apply to actually work with you to help them get the exact same result that you got for yourself or for others. And the third page is the homework page. Okay, so let me walk you through it. So this is an example of an old funnel we had. Right here at the very top, there's a video, and this was, if you read that here, this is a free case study of how this one girl made $89,230 to a tiny list of people in less than 3 days. Okay, so she was one of our clients, and so I made a video that showed her process. Like, hey, she was this person, she had this tiny little list, she didn't think it was gonna be possible. We set up this funnel, we set up this process, this is what happened. Day number 1, we did this, day number 2, we did this, day number 3, we did this, and then all said and done, this is how much money she made from that tiny list in 3 days. If you wanna learn how to do this, you want me to help you with this, go apply down below. That was it. Share a case study, tell them to apply if they want our help doing the same thing inside of their business, inside their own life, whatever it is you're selling. Okay, so that's page number 1. Okay, again, they're gonna watch the video of the case study, and they're gonna apply if they want my help or your help, getting that same result, and then we get their email address so we can then follow up with them throughout the process. Okay, all right, so that's page number 1. Now we're gonna move on to the application page. The application page now is where they fill out a bunch of questions about why we should work with them. Okay, I've gotten myself this result, I've got other people, like, let me know why you think I should work with you to help you get that result as well. Because I don't wanna work with everybody, I wanna work with the right people. Why are you the right person to work with me to get that result? Okay, and they're gonna go and then sell themselves. They're gonna sell you on why they should actually work with you. That's what the application's about. Okay, so the application, a couple things is, number 1, you want it to explain what it looks like to work with you. Okay, so if I do happen to pick you, this is what's gonna look like. We're gonna do calls every once in a while. There's gonna be a meeting, there's gonna be events, whatever it is that your high-end package is. Explain what it's gonna look like to work with you. We're gonna have the full application for them to apply. And inside the application, there's a lot of different questions you could ask. When we first started building this, I started looking at like every kind of application out there. I was looking at what everybody was doing, and I found a couple things. The application questions I ask, I like asking questions like, what type of business do you own? I like having some kind of revenue qualifier. So like revenue qualifier, I might ask something like, how much money a month do you spend on ads right now? Or how much money do you have to invest in your business, okay? If you're in a different type, if you're not in a business type situation, maybe you're in fitness or finance, a revenue qualifier might be like, how much money do you spend eating out per month? Like what's your budget for healthy food every single month? So you try to find out, like, are they making enough money to actually afford what I'm doing? If someone's like, I can't buy healthy food, we can't afford it, then you have a revenue qualifier knowing like this person's probably not gonna be a big fit for my $30,000 weight loss program, right? Or if they're like, hey, we don't spend any money on Facebook ads because we can't pay the bills, they're not gonna be investing in my high-end program. I'm gonna tell them to go buy my book instead, or something that they can actually afford at the time. Okay, so I have a revenue qualifier. I like asking questions to find out what success looks like for them. One of the big problems you have when you're trying to sell someone really expensive things is they come in and you're like, okay, this is our program's gonna help you build a funnel. But in their mind, like if I sign up for this program, it means I'm gonna have $1 billion funnel. I'm gonna have 100,000 new leads a day. I'm gonna have they have their vision of what success is, and if it's different than what your vision is, what you're actually fulfilling on, and there's a discrepancy, no matter how good you are at fulfilling on this thing that you're gonna do, if their vision is something over here, you're never gonna be successful together. Okay, so like asking questions like, what does success look like for you? If I decide to work with you and try to help you get this result as well, what does success look like for you? Okay, a lot of times I'll have people who seem like traditional amazing business people, and they'll apply for a coaching program with us, and like, right now I'm making $150,000 a year, which is pretty good, but I want to make sure my take home is no less than $1 million a year. And they're like, that's within the next 12 months. And I'm like, you know what? The likelihood of you getting $1 million a year take home after all your expenses and everything is probably not very high, especially in the first year. Like, I don't think I can fulfill on that. So I might say, like, I'm not going to work with you because your goals are way out of skew. I had one guy, it kind of blew my mind. He was like, he's doing good. He had like a good corporate business, and he wanted to make sure that after his advertising costs, all his hard costs, and everything, his take home is no less than $3 to $5 million a year. And I'm like to do that, that's awesome, but you got to build a business to like 70, 80, $100 million. We can get you there eventually, but not in the next 12 months. Like, that's like, you have to be realistic. So I want to make sure that I understand what success is like with them, so I can see, like, am I going to be able to fulfill that or not? And if I can't fulfill it, I do not want them as a client. Okay, so it gives me an idea really quickly to find out what if they're a good fit for me. One of the easiest ways to find this out, there's a book called The Question by Dan Sullivan. And the book's amazing. The gist is, this is the question. You ask them this question. In fact, if you look at any of my coaching applications, they always ask this. It says, if we were having this discussion 3 years from today, and you're looking back over those last 3 years, what would have happened into your own life, both personally and professionally, for you to feel happy with the progress? Okay, they come back and say, look, I just want to have more impact on the world. Right now, I'm doing well. I'd love to have a company that's at least $1 million a year. Hopefully my take home is 30% of that, or whatever it is. I'm hoping to be able to blah, 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 blah. When I have a bigger impact, when I be able to spend more time with my family, I'm like, boom, I can help you. Like, those are things that I can help you do very, very easily, right? So I focus on that. Like, if it's a good fit, I'm like, cool, we're gonna work good together. If they're like way outside of what's reality, then I'm like, this is probably not gonna be a good relationship. Okay, and then also, usually when I'm selling coaching, there's some kind of group dynamic. I want to make sure that they're not just takers, but they're also givers. So I ask, like, why would you be a good fit for this group? You're gonna be working with a lot of other people just like you. Like, why would you? Like, let me know why you're a good fit. And then they sell you on, like, well, I'm be a good fit because of this and this and this. And it helps to make sure that they're a team player, that they're a giver, not just a taker. Okay, and you have to be a good fit for the group. How would you contribute? Things like that. So those are the types of questions I ask in my application. Okay, so again, page number 1, case study. Page number 2, application. Then page number 3 is the homework. Okay, and a couple things on the homework. Number 1 is I give them homework that helps build the connection with me. So I might say, hey, go watch this video to tell you the story. So a lot of times I have a video to tell about why I got in this business. One of the videos I usually use on my thank you pages is me telling my story about my wife and our kids, and how we couldn't have babies, and we got fertility, and we ended up having twins, and how that doctor that changed my life because of what she was doing. And I tell this whole story, and it's emotional. I cry like 3 or 4 times in the movie. In the video, it's kind of embarrassing, but it builds connection with people, right? So I give them homework assignments to go watch trainings, to watch things I've done so they can have better connection with me. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is I try to get them to initiate an inbound call. Obviously, when the application comes in, I'm going to outbound call them. But what we found, back when I had the call center with 60 salespeople, we found that if I was calling them on the phone, back then, the metrics are different today, but we would average about $150 per lead. If I got them to call me, we're averaging about $450 per lead. Okay, so whatever the math is, like 3 times more money by getting them to initiate the call. So even though I'm going to call every application that comes in, I'm going to tell them on this page, like, hey, if you want to jump to the front of the line, if you're really excited and you're ready to get started today, like, call this number. It does not mean you're guaranteed a spot at all, but it means you're going to jump to the front of the line, and you can talk to somebody and see if you're a good fit right now. Okay, and it gets them to initiate an inbound call. And so I try to get them to initiate an inbound call as quick as we can. And so that's kind of what a case study phone funnel looks like. Case study, application, homework, where I build connection and get them to initiate a phone call. Okay, and that's it. Very, very simple. Now, variation of a case study phone call, instead of doing a case study of like, let me tell you this case study of how I got myself this result or someone else this result, the next variation is just what we call a success story. Okay, the funnel is very, very similar, but instead of telling a full case study, I'm having someone tell a success story. Okay, so some of you guys have seen this funnel before. This is a video of Liz Benny from page number 1. But notice, like, this is just me changing the art. The funnel structure is the same, right? The frameworks are all the same. Just here, instead of a case study, I have Liz Benny telling her story, then they apply. Then video takes to page number 2, where I have a video telling my story, and then they fill out a longer form application. And from there's a picture, a video of me telling my story, and then trying to get them to create inbound call. Okay, so page number 1 is the success story. So this is Liz Benny. Now I'm going to actually show you guys this video. One thing about when I show you this, I want you to understand. Notice that it wasn't like, I worked with Russell and I got rich quick. And income claim. Like, it's not me telling much income claims and things like that. Okay, as your company grows, you can get a lot of trouble for that. This is her telling her actual success story. Okay, and if you watch this video, like, it's an amazing video. It's made me millions and millions of dollars. But what's interesting is it's not her just talking about how she got rich. It's her talking about how hard it was and how working with me helped her and it changed her life. But man, it was this painful process. And what's nice about this, when someone goes to, they watch this video, when they come to coaching later, they're not like, oh, I thought this was going to be super easy. I was going to get rich quick. It's like, no, I watched the video. Liz framed this whole coaching program. It's going to be work, it's going to be painful, but man, it's going to be worth it, right? It generates a different, a better quality lead coming through. So let me show you guys this video so you can see just an example of a case study video, or excuse me, a success story video that we use to fill out a whole coaching program.
So I want to tell you something. Hiring Russell Brunson was bar none one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life. And I want to tell you that when you work with him, he takes you on this journey that you won't even know that that you're going to go on. Like it's like I at the very beginning I had all these hopes and dreams and visions, and I honestly thought that, yay, I'm working with the overnight success maker, and like I thought, whoa, I'm going to make like $500,000 in the first month of working with him. But you know what, the eventuality is that sometimes in life it doesn't always work out the exact way that you want it to work out, and that's certainly where it got to for me. So my 2014 was one of the hardest years I've ever had in my entire life. Like, there was cancer in the family, people were in hospital. I thought I was gonna, at one stage I thought I was going to lose my partner. Like, it was just wasn't a pleasant scenario at all. And by losing my partner, I mean like hospitalization, like really not, like from really bad health issues. And there were just times when I promise you I wanted to give up. And sometimes I actually, when I say that, I don't just mean give up in business. Like for me, when I hired Russell, it really was like it sounds really dramatic, but my life's mission, it's so big. Like, I really, really, really wanted to connect with someone who could get me to the next level, who could help me really get from that really stranded, grounded place, sitting at my office every single day, to a place where I'm, helping like people all around the world. And that's why I chose Russell. But man, it was hard. It was really, really, really hard at times to have to deal with those things that come up in your personal life all the time. Like, it was not an easy scenario in 2014, but I'm really, really, really grateful that I listened to Russell. I'm really grateful that I hired him as a coach. Like, the man has changed my life forever. Like, once you're, like, my mind has been blown completely, and there's no way back. Like, I know that anything is possible now.
All right, do you see how powerful that is? The success story of someone who's gone through your process, and you share that. And again, it's not tons of income claims and things like that, or weight loss claims, any of those things. Just them telling their story and their journey, and the right people are going to hear that. And they're going to come, and they're going to come into your funnels, okay? And so that's what the success story funnel looks like. Again, a video, they're going to watch a video showing a success story, and then they're going to apply if they want your help achieving that same result, okay? And then again, same thing on the page, they apply, they get an email address, that way you can follow up them if they don't fill out their application. Then page number 2, then we take them to this page right here, there's a video, and in the video I explain what it looks like to work with me. Usually I have a whole bunch of different testimonials scrolling on that video while they're filling out the longer form application. And then from there goes to page number 3. There's the video right here I was talking about, where me telling my story about my wife and the twins. I cry like 3 times during this video. They watch this video to build connection. And then again, I tell them to try to initiate an inbound call, so it increases the chance and likelihood they're going to be joining our coaching programs. Okay, so that's the funnels. They're very simple. They're very easy. They're not complicated at all. The next question is, okay, I've gotten this lead. It's amazing. What do I do with it? Okay, and so I'm going to step back really quick before I go too deep into this. I want you to start thinking about, for any kind of business, like whenever people come to me like, well, my business is different because we don't sell things online, or we don't whatever. Like, this funnel right here, do you see how this funnel, how it pre-frames and it structures and it creates like the perfect dream lead for you, right? You get somebody to watch a case study of something you've done for yourself or for somebody else, or shows a success story where they have this amazing frame. Then they give you the email address, and they go to the next page, and they're telling you like why you should work, and they're selling themselves on you, like, you should pick me because of this, and because of this, and this is what success looks like, and this is why I'd be good to contribute to the group, and they're selling themselves on why you should pick them. Okay, then you get the lead. Now imagine any kind of business that's got any kind of phone sales team. Right now, they're outbound calling leads. They're cold calling people. They're getting, buying leads offline or whatever it is. Like calling that kind of lead versus calling this kind of lead, where somebody is amazing and they're prepared and they're ready to work with you and they're telling you why you should pick them. Like it shifts everything. We went from us outbound calling leads averaging $150 DPL, dollar per lead, to we shifted to this, and now we average over $1,500 per application, 10 times as much money by taking them through this process. Okay, again, I went from 60 sales guys to 2, making the exact same amount of revenue. Okay, do you guys see the power behind that? Like that's what this process does. It generates and creates the most amazing dream lead you can dream of. Okay, so even if you're not selling coaching, it doesn't matter. If you're selling anything where you're calling leads on the phone, if you take them through this process, you're washing the people through this process to prepare them, to indoctrinate them, to warm them up and get them selling you on why you should allow them to buy your product or your service, like it changes everything. Do you guys see that? Like, so anytime I'm working with a company and they're like, well, I need a lead. I'm like, well, you should use a phone funnel. Like, well, I don't sell coaching. Like, it doesn't matter if you sell coaching. Okay, if you're calling people on the phone and trying to sell anything, man, take them through this process initially and that the lead becomes worth 10 times as much money to you or more. Okay, and the other amazing thing is instead of having 60 salespeople, I'm only getting the cream of the crop. The best people are coming through and the best leads come through. Okay, I'm not just wasting all this energy with 60 people calling everybody trying to find out who's actually ready. The funnel is all the work, the sifting, the sorting, the preparation, the pre-work, the pre-suasion, like all those things happen, and we're just given this amazing piece of gold at the end. Okay. All right, so now we have this goal. And then the question is like, well, what do we say on the phone? Okay, now again, this is outside the context of this training. We have a product called High Ticket Secrets that goes deep into this. We also, inside the .com Secrets book, I go deep into both of the different phone scripts. But I'm gonna kind of go through them really quickly here. There's 2 scripts. Number 1 is what we call the 4-question close. Okay, the 4-question close works if you don't have a salesperson, if it's just you, okay, or maybe you have one salesperson. Okay, the application comes in, and there's these 4 questions that we go through. Okay, and again, question number 1, notice is very similar to the application. Question number 1 is all about, hey, if we were to have this conversation in 3 years from now, and we're looking back for last years, what would have had happen both personally and professionally for you to feel like this was successful? Okay, and they come back and they start dreaming about the future and visualizing what's going to be possible. Okay, and then from there you ask them, okay, well, what's keeping you back right now? Like, why are you hitting that? Like, well, I'm not doing it because I'm stuck here. I'm stuck here. They're talking about the things that's keeping them from the result that they want. And you say, okay, based on that, like, what are the resources you have that you haven't tapped into yet? Like, what do you like? Tell me about what you have. And they're like, well, I have an email list. We don't really email. I've got this. They start telling you all the things that they have through the untapped resources, so you know exactly how to work with them. And you say, cool. And then the next question is like, well, do you think based on what you know of me so far, do you think that I can help you get that goal, right? Like, I see where you're trying to go. I see where you're stuck. I know what resources you have. I think that I can help you get there. Would you like my help with that? Typically they say yes, and they're like, cool, well, let's get you signed up. Okay, and again, the book goes into more detail about this. I'm not a phone sales person, so my team is the ones who develop these questions and they go deep into it. So if you read the .com Secrets book, it'll go deeper. But this is the 4-question close. Okay, so if you got one salesperson, this is the script we use. Now the other thing we do is for most of our clients, we try to set up both a setter and a closer. Okay, if you do that, the script's a little bit different. And I'm not gonna go deep into the script because it'll take me a while to go into it, and I don't know it as well as the salespeople. But in the .com Secrets book, it's all in there. But basically there's 2 scripts. Number 1 is the setter. The setter is the first person talks to him, gets on the phone, and the setter's job is to qualify them to see if they're actually a good fit for your program. So they go through these first 8 parts. They have the intro, they ask questions, they go through the blast, the posture, the probe, the finding credit, the goals and the commitments to find out if they are a good fit. Okay, and this way that person's going through and finding out if they're a good fit. If they are a good fit, then the person hands them off to the closer, and the closer goes through the next set of questions to figure out how to get them in the program, make sure that everything's going to work out good. Okay, so it's a 2-person setter closer script. This is the best script when you're not doing any of the selling. Okay, I told you before that I'm scared to death of getting on the phone. I'm very introverted. I didn't want to do these kind of things. And so when we got started, I had a setter and a closer, and it gave the ability to position and posture me. Okay, with the 4-question script back here, a lot of times it's the guru. It's you on the phone doing the sell. That's why we do the 4-question close. Okay, but at the same time, if there's always a decrease in positioning when you're the one doing the call, right? If you're also the one who's doing the coaching or whatever thing at the end, you're like, wow, you have time to do a phone call? Like, it kind of depositions you. But a lot of times this is where people start. And then as they grow a little bit better and they step away from the sales role, then you shift to this, where the setter and the closer are all about edifying you and posturing and positioning you. Okay, the way the script works, it increases your intrinsic value by the way that the script works. And then when someone's done and they go through this process, then they come to you. So for me, when we started this new sales process, again, I didn't want to be on the phones. I'm scared to death of being on the phone. So we set up the setter closer and did tens of millions of dollars in sales. Someone would watch this video, they'd apply, the setter would get on the phone, see if they're a good fit. If so, pass them off to the closer would close the sale, and then they'd have a chance to come work with me, and I was able to help them at that level. Okay, so that's kind of the process. But again, these funnels are very simple. Okay, either case study of what you've done or how you've done for others, or success story. They watch that, they give the email address to work with you. Step number 2 is they will go through a full long form application where they're selling you on why you should work with them. Step 3, you give them homework to build connection, and you have to try to create an inbound call. And then during that inbound call, or when you outbound call them, then you either, if you're a 1-person sales team, you go through the 4-question close. If you're a 2-person sales team, then you go through the setter closer script, and that's it. That's the magic how high-ticket funnels work. The cool thing about high-ticket funnels like this is it gives you the ability to sell things at all sorts of levels. Okay, we first started doing this back, a decade ago. We were selling things for $5,000, which I thought was like, that's so much money. No one ever buy anything besides 5. Later, after we shut down the big call center and we opened the small 2-person call center, initially we charged some things at $8,000. And it blew my mind that the scripts worked to get people to buy 8. And we raised the prices to 10, and from 10 to 12, and then 12 to 15, and 15 to 25, and 25 to 50, and beyond. And what we found is these scripts work at every single price point. We've got people now who are selling $100,000 offers with $1 million offers with it, and it works all throughout. So if you are trying to sell high-ticket stuff, it is the key, it is the goal, it is the secret. Okay, and so that's kind of the end of this Funnelology training. To kind of recap this and wrap it up with you guys, everything that we've talked about, I want you guys just to remember that, like, the funnels aren't some magic trick. They're frameworks, right? They're frameworks that you can create that work there. It's just like a framework for a house, right? If you want to build that kind of house, there's a framework. That kind of house, there's a framework. And then you build the walls and stuff. Then you go and you put in your own wallpaper, your own curtains, and like all those kind of things, okay? If you look at these sessions we talked about, session number 1 was all about, okay, who is your dream customer? What does that person look like? Number 2 is, where are they congregating? How do we it's a 2-eyed fish. I guess all fish have 2 eyes. Where are they congregating at, right? Number 3 is, what is the bait you're throwing in to capture that person, right? And then inside of the bait, we have the framework of hook, story, offer, right? And then from there, it's like, after we found that person, now how do we send them up, and how do we give them a certain result? Right? And then here we said, okay, now, so that was session number 1. And then from there we said, okay, based on this result, now how do we get the person up there? Now we have this value ladder, right? So it's okay, here's the value ladder, and here's how we're gonna move somebody through this tier thing so we can give them this big result, right? And then from there, it's okay, well, if we're gonna move somebody through this value ladder, well, what are the funnels this step, right? Here we have our lead funnels to help generate a lead. Now, after they go through the lead funnel, then they naturally send up to the next funnel, which are unboxing funnels, right? We have these unboxing funnels at the next step. After they go through the unboxing funnels, then it sends them up to our presentation funnels, right? Here's our TV. There's our presentation funnels. We give a presentation, and from there we send up to our phone funnels. Okay, but everything in this entire process, if you look at it, is all about just this framework right here. Like, who are your dream customers? Who do you actually want to work with? Who are the people that you are passionate about? Like, if you could sit there all day and figure out what else can I do to help them? What else can I do to help them? Like, you can figure out those people, like, and you figure them out. That's the first step. And then it's like, okay, now I got to find those people. Let me find them. Like, oh my gosh, here they are. Oh, they're over here. Now I found them. Here's my people. These people I want to serve, people I want to help, people I want to work with. Now let me throw my bait out there to grab them, get their attention. Now I've got their attention. Now let me take them through this process where I can help them get a result. And I can change their life. And that's what business is all about. Okay, business should not be a transactional thing. So many people teach and they show and they talk about, especially in college and like business classes, it's all about transactional. Here I got money in and I'm turning it back, and this is transactional thing. It's not transactional, it's transformational. Okay? As soon as you shift your business from, I'm gonna try to transact and make money, so I'm gonna try to transform the lives of the dream customers that I've been called to serve, that's when everything will shift for you. Okay, that's the magic. That's what you got to understand. And then all this funnel thing is no longer complicated. It's like, okay, I know who they are. I know where they're at. I'm grabbing them, telling them hooks are off to pull them in here. And here's the funnel framework that's going to send them up so I can get them a certain result. And at this level, these are the frameworks that are possible. I'm going to pick that one and weave my art into it. Okay, and then from here, I'm going to pick this one and weave my art into there. Pick this one. We're going to go through the process, and it becomes simple and very, very easy. Okay, it's just frameworks, it's just structure, it's just things are out there, we're gonna grab it, and then from there, put our messaging, put our stories into it, okay? The last big caveat I wanna say, I went kind of on a rant on this during the Funnelology training a couple of days ago in session number 2, was a lot of times we're looking at this and say, okay, we wanna get our dream customer up here. To do that means I need to build the whole entire value ladder out before I get started. And I want to just restate, like, that's not the goal. The goal of me showing you these 10 funnels is for you to look at all of these, You know, we had 3 here, we had funnel 1, 2, and 3 here, we had funnel 1, 2, and 3 here, 1, 2, and 3 here, and funnel 1 here. So you have all these different funnels. My goal is for you to see a landscape of like, okay, here's what's possible. Okay, maybe in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, I'm gonna have a full value ladder that looks like this. But today, I just need one. What's the one funnel I'm gonna focus on right now? Okay, and so hopefully you've identified that, you figured out like this is the one that makes the most sense to me, but maybe you haven't, maybe you're still kind of struggling. Okay, so if you gotta think back, okay, for my type of business, what makes the most sense? Okay, if I'm like an author, speaker, coach, consultant, for almost all of you guys, I'm gonna say, start right here with like a webinar funnel. Okay, that's gonna be the fastest path to cash for you. I'd focus all my energy on this, a webinar funnel, and do nothing else until that funnel's made at least $1 million. We got into 2 Comma Club. After you're in 2 Comma Club, then you go back and you can build a high-end, back-end funnel to get these people to ascend up to. Or you can build a downsell and do a book funnel, get somebody in a book funnel to get more people into your webinar, things like that. Okay, but that's where I'd start and that's where I'd focus, and I would do only that one funnel to hit at least $1 million in sales. Okay, if you're an e-commerce person, I'm probably not gonna do a webinar. I'm gonna come back here to the unboxing funnel and I'm gonna say, look, I'm gonna do a cart funnel. I'm an e-commerce. Cart funnels make the most sense for me. So I'm gonna build a cart funnel. I'm gonna focus all my energy, all my efforts on this one funnel. I'm gonna start focusing on it, building it until we get to a 2 Comma Club. And after the 2 Comma Club, maybe I step down and say, okay, let me build a couple of lead funnels to get more leads in to get people into this funnel. And maybe that's the business, right? Okay, some of you guys are like, well, I'm a service-based business. What should I do? I'm like, okay, well, if you're a service-based business, let's say you're a chiropractor or dentist or Invisalign, right? Maybe you start here with a lead funnel, but maybe you're like, no, I don't want someone's email address. I want my staff to call them on the phone. Okay, well, let's do a phone funnel right here. If you're a service-based business, just because you're not selling $25,000 coaching, if you're selling $2,000 teeth whitening, like, hey, take them through a phone funnel. Make sure that the funnel is all the hard work of screening and preparing and getting them sold on why they should work with you. Right? And get these leads that are hot, that are coming into your funnel, into your practice every single day, and then call them and bring them in and sell them your $2,000, your $5,000, your $10,000 services and packages of cosmetic dentistry, of chiropractic, of Invisalign, like whatever the thing is, of LASIK, of like whatever your business is, like generate the dream leads to come in to be able to close them whatever you're trying to sell, right? Again, every business type I would plug into a different thing. If I'm a restaurant, what am I gonna do? I'm probably gonna do a phone funnel for a restaurant, but maybe I'm gonna do a lead funnel, give away coupons, and let's get a bunch of people coming into our restaurant, right? Now I get I'm building a list of people who every single Tuesday at 4, when sales are down and nobody's showing up, I can send an email to that list and I can blow up the company. Okay, I had a friend who worked with a local pizza place, and the pizza place, all they did is set up. In fact, he was ordering pizza and was dead. He showed up and it was like dead in there. And the guy was making his pizza and he's like, "What do you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm an internet marketer." And the guy's like, "Well, I'm a pizza guy. How would that work for my business?" He's like, well, how do you generate leads now? He's like, oh, I run yellow page ads and you have these different ways to get people to come in. He's like, well, how is the business? He's like, well, on the weekends it's crazy because everyone wants pizza, so we're always packed, but Monday through Thursday is dead in here. And so my friend said, well, what if we build you out a little lead funnel? Every single person that comes comes in for pizza, have this iPad here and have them put in their name and email address in for a chance to win free pizza or something like that, right? And he said, just do that for next month and just get people to fill in this form. Okay, so he had people fill in this form for an entire month and they're all generating leads. And leads coming in, second leads coming in, third leads coming in. And my buddy waited about 30 days, came back. He said, well, what's happened? And the guy said, well, in the last month I got 1,500 people to join my email list. He's like, cool. And the guy's like, what do I do with it now? Like, I don't even know. He said, oh, well, you have them on a list now. You have the ability to email them. So he said, what you do is every single time it's slow in your restaurant, email the list and tell them to come in for a special. And so the guy started every single day at like 3:30, he'd email his list of 1,500 people saying, hey, just so you know, dinner's coming really soon. The kitchen's gonna be hopping, it's gonna be busy. If you wanna grab a pizza on your way home from the office, just respond back to the email, let me know what you want, and we'll have the pizza ready for you. And so we send an email out every single day at 3 o'clock. Within seconds of the email coming out, his phones start ringing. Ding, 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 ding. Phones start ringing. He started making pizzas, and he started, whenever he wanted to, was able to fill his practice with people. Okay, do you see the power of that? Like, because he started generating leads, had a list of people, now he was able to get people into his restaurant whenever he wanted, as opposed to just waiting like, well, I hope somebody shows up today, which is what most businesses do. Okay, so all these funnels have different techniques, different ways that you can use them. It's just coming back to your own business thing, like, okay, let me be strategic. Like, for my business, like, what's the end result? I'm trying to sell this product. Okay, am I going to sell it through a presentation? Well, it's a low ticket product, so maybe not. I'm going to sell it through here. Or, I don't really need to sell something, but I need leads coming in. Cool, let's do something like this. Let's get leads in. But like, oh, I want higher quality leads. Cool, so this one here. Let's give you the highest quality leads. Okay? As you start understanding this, you guys, this gives you the ability to become a funnel consultant for yourself, for other people. Just understand, like, this is how funnels work. It's just understanding these frameworks and the process and where we're taking people through, where they start, where they go from. And if you understand this stuff, it's not rocket science. Okay, but it's powerful. It transforms businesses. Businesses that are struggling makes them huge. Businesses that are huge makes them even bigger. Okay, it's just understand these core principles and processes and concepts we're teaching here inside of Funnelology. So with that said, I hope that you have enjoyed this course. You've got tons of ideas. I highly recommend for you to continue to go through more of our training, but tons of training in FunnelFlix. All my high ticket secrets training course and how to do phone sales is in FunnelFlix. We've got my 10x secrets, which is my how to do the perfect webinars inside of FunnelFlix. So make sure you're going to FunnelFlix, spending time inside of there, learning more and more of these elements of how you can keep taking these things and taking them to the next level. Thank you guys again for being part of Funnelology, and I will see you guys in the next training. Thanks, everybody. All right, before you guys all go, I'm coming down. We did it, you guys. 6 sessions over 3 days. How are you feeling? I'm guessing you're not as tired as me, right? Maybe you are. I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you've had a ton of fun. If you have, again, please comment down below. Give me your biggest takeaway from all the sessions, the thing that meant the most to you, the thing that's got the biggest impact on your life, on your business. I would love to hear it down below. And I want to thank you guys again for spending so much time. It's insane. Every single day we had almost 5,000 people watching this thing. Day one, we had over 5,000 people. So it's really cool that you guys spent the time to hang out with me, especially on short notice. We told you guys New Year's Day, and the next 3 days we're hanging out. So I hope it was well worth your time. I love doing stuff like this, and I think I'm going to try to do it more often here in the future. So maybe if you guys like this, how'd you like if we just did this once a month on different topics and different ideas to help you go deeper? Anyway, I hope that it's been good for you. I just really quick, before we wrap this thing up, while I still have your attention for a few more minutes, I just wanted to give you one last push to make sure you guys come to Funnel Hacking Live. The special offer is expiring. As soon as tickets sell out, it's gone. It might be gone right now. It might be gone in an hour from now. I have no idea. I just got off stage. I have no idea where we are in ticket sales. I think we had 150, 160 of them left last I heard. And so when the tickets are gone, they're gone forever. And so this is your last shot to come and get there. And when you do come, again, we got a special offer. So I'm gonna go through the offer really quick. If you guys don't mind. So I'm gonna go through the slides I showed you guys yesterday. So this is basically it. These last 6 sessions, I've had a ton of fun with you guys doing this Funnelology training. There are other parts of this course we're gonna be putting together as well. And if you guys want access to all the training, plus everything else, the only way to get that is either to wait 6 months till we sell it for $1,000, or you get it for free if you get your ticket to Funnel Hacking Live. So inside the full course, here's what you're gonna get. Again, you're gonna get all the cleaned up recordings. All 6 of these sessions will be cleaned up. So you have the perfect video ones you can watch online. Number 2, we're gonna strip the audios out and make ebook versions. That way you can listen to them while you're driving around town, or you're working out, or you're sleeping at night. So you can keep getting these concepts going through your mind over and over and over again. Okay, the more you start listening to these things and understand the core concepts, the better you understand them, the better you grasp them, the more likely you'll be able to use them. We're also gonna get all these presentations transcribed. So those are you guys who are my readers, we'll be able to look on your Kindle and you can read it, or you can print it out and take notes on it. You can highlight things, stuff like that. Plus, there's a whole bunch of other videos that I've recorded in other spots that I know are gonna be powerful inside of here. For example, Funnel Audible's presentation I did a couple years ago at Funnel Hacking Live about what happens if your funnel flops. How do you tweak it? What are the changes you make? Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a Funnel Audibles training, funnel stacking, like how do you go from funnel 1 to funnel 2, and funnel 2 to funnel 3. I did a whole training on funnel stacking I'm gonna include in here as well, and there'll be other things as well. Just everything I think you guys are gonna need to really master funnels. It's all gonna be in that training, plus a whole bunch more. So you guys get access to that entire thing for free, as long as you have tickets to Funnel Hacking Live. So all my people who already have tickets to Funnel Hacking Live, we love you guys. We'll be sending this as another gift. We've sent you guys so many unadvertised bonuses. I hope you guys love them. But this is a new one. You get this entire training course for free. So that's number 1. And if you don't yet, as long as you get your tickets to Funnel Hacking Live before we sell out, you'll get access to this entire program as well, on top of everything else we're getting. So I want to stress one more time that this is happening soon, okay? January 29th through February 1st in Nashville, Tennessee is where Funnel Hacking Live is happening. There's going to be over 4,000 funnel hackers, people just like you who are there. These aren't just random people off the street. This is your future family. These are people who think like you, who believe like you, have visions and dreams and ideas and things they want to create just like you, okay? For most of you guys, these will be your friends, your business partners are here, sitting in a room waiting for you. And they're waiting for you to come and just show up. Okay, half of life is just showing up. If you just show up and put yourself in the right situations, around the right people, you're gonna be successful. And there's no better place for you to be right now at the beginning of the year than Funnel Hacking Live. Okay, this is gonna kick off your entire year. Okay, 2020, this is the beginning of a new year, a new decade. And if you get in the right spot, it's interesting because if you start in a spot, you start walking, you go a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and you're going this direction, you may miss your mark. But if you come to Funnel Hacking Live right now, at the very beginning of this journey, and we're able to say, look, you're going this right now, you actually need to shift this way right here, and then boom, you got the right strategy, the right training, the right vision, the right people, the right partners, everything, and you start walking, right? In a year, 5 years, 10 years now, like you end up in completely different locations. Okay? Tony Robbins has an event called Date with Destiny, and I look at this as this is literally like your date with destiny. This will change your destiny. The shifts you make at this event will shift you from here to here. Okay, it'll help prepare you, make sure you're going in the right direction, you're running in the right direction. There's nothing worse than doing everything, than hustling, than killing yourself, than putting in the time, the energy, the investment, everything, and you're running as hard as you can, doing everything that's right, but you're running in the wrong direction. Okay? That's what Funnel Hacking Live is about, is to get you, point you in the right direction, so when you're running, every effort you're doing is actually going in the right direction. Okay? That's why I brought in the most amazing speakers on earth. I'm going to be speaking like 7 or 8 times, 6 or I don't even know, a bunch of times. Tony Robbins is speaking, Ryan Holiday, Tom Bilyeu, the most amazing speakers on earth. Tons of our people in our funnel hacking community, people who were just like you, some of them who didn't know how they were going to come to Funnel Hacking Live last year. They couldn't figure out how to get the finances and the babysitters, all sorts of things. They got there, they sat in the room, and we transformed them. And now a year later, they're winning 2 Comma Club awards. They're on stage telling their stories. And I want you guys to see that and experience that, because in a year from now, you might be the one on stage. You might be the one telling your story about your funnel, what you figured out, how the tweaks and the changes you made that shifted everything for you. Okay, Natasha Hazel was at Funnel Hacking Live, our second Funnel Hacking Live, at a point where she was miserable with her business. She wanted to quit. She was about to walk away. And in the last moment, like the day before, she's like, I'm just going to go. She already bought a ticket. She wasn't planning on going. She finally said, I'm just going to go. She showed up, sat in the room. Day 1, nothing happened. Day 2, nothing happened. Day 3, nothing happened. Day 4, she had her breakthrough. Day 4, during one presentation, it was the thing she came for. It touched her heart. It broke like something inside her. It just shifted her. And I watched her as over the next 12 months of her life, she shifted her life. She lost tons of weight. She shifted her business. She started going after the right clients. She started changing other people's lives. She launched her thing. And thing after thing started happening. And I watched her as her business blew up. The people she was serving, their businesses blew up. And everything changed for her. And then what's crazy is that she had this concept of a challenge funnel. I didn't think of it. She thought of it. She did this thing and it changed her business, helped other people. And I was able to learn that from her. Okay, and now challenge funnels is where every single person who comes into my world goes through, right? And it's because Natasha was there. She sat in the room. She did the work. She had the transformations. And then she innovated on these frameworks that we've been teaching people, okay? And I can't I want you guys to come learn these frameworks and innovate on them, so the next year you can come up and be like, okay, Russell taught this last time. Let me show you how we made it better. Let me show you what we figured out. We figured out this thing called a challenge funnel, and like literally changed my life. We changed ClickFunnels because of it. And that's why we need you guys to be in the room, okay? So again, it's happening January 29th through February 1st in Nashville. It's soon, it's in a couple weeks from now, but now is the time to make that shift, the very beginning of the year, very beginning of the decade, so we can start running together in the right direction, okay? As of when I did these slides, there was only 161 tickets left. Yesterday was 273, so they are selling very, very quickly. Chances are they'll be sold out tonight, or I'm pretty sure by the end of this weekend they'll be sold out. When they're gone, they're gone. If for some reason we don't sell out, then Tuesday at midnight was the date we set to double ticket prices. So that means it goes from $1,000 ticket to $2,000. So either they're going to be doubling the price on Tuesday, or they'll be sold out prior to that. I can't control that, so it all depends on when they sell out. So this is one of the things you can't sit on the fence. You guys right now, it's a Saturday. Like, now is the time for you to go and run and get your tickets. I don't want you missing out on this opportunity. I don't want you in a month from now or a week from now or 2 weeks from now kicking yourself. I want you guys during Funnel Hacking Live, people are streaming their experiences and on video in Facebook Lives, inside of our group, crying because of the breakthroughs they had and the shifts they had and the people they met and the changes they had. I don't want you kicking yourself because you missed out on this opportunity to change your life. Okay? So again, if you get your tickets to Funnel Hacking Live before midnight tonight, you get access to this entire masterclass for free. Again, you get the cleaned up video recordings, the audiobook version, the PDF transcripts, the 12 plus other bonus hours of training, plus a whole bunch more. All you do right now is go to funnelhackinglive.com and get your tickets. And that's it. And then as soon as we get everything cleaned up, we'll send you guys access to the training course, which is going to be amazing. But even more importantly than that, the most amazing thing you can do for yourself and for your business and for your family and for your life is to come to Funnel Hacking Live. We're here to serve you. I've spent over $3 million putting on this event because I believe in you. I believe in your message. I know that your message has the ability to change somebody's life, but only if you learn how to get it out. And so that's what we're talking about. My sessions that are happening at Funnel Hacking Live are something completely different I never talked about before in the past. I'm freaking out because I'm so excited. I'm still working on them right now. We're a couple weeks away, and it's going to be amazing, and I want to be able to share that with you. But the only way for you to get that is to be at the event. So now is the time to go to funnelhackinglive.com. Now, when I get done here in a few seconds, we're going to stream some videos, and you guys have seen these between all the different breaks. You've seen the sales videos from the first Funnel Hacking Live, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. You see videos of other amazing things happening. I want you to sit back and to watch them and just sit there and watch the videos and just sit there and just think about it. What would it be like to be in that room? What would it be like for you to be having these life transformations that other people are having? And then look at the people who are coming on stage and getting 2 Comma Club awards and realize that those people were just like you. The only difference is they made this decision to come and to participate and to go all in and to focus on themselves and their businesses and to put forth the effort to get there. Because I know it's effort. Okay, like I understand completely. Like you've got to pay for the ticket, you got to pay for your flights, you got to pay for your hotels, you got to get work off, you got to talk to your spouse, your significant other. You got to like take the time. Like I get it. It's a week off. It's a lot. It's asking a lot. Okay, but I promise you, we're getting to give you so much more than we're asking for. It will change your business. It'll probably change your life. It'll change the trajectory. It's going to shift you from here to make sure you're running in the right direction from day number one. And that way, every effort you're putting in is going to be worth so much more because it's not taking you this way, it's taking you that way. With that said, I just want you guys to, one last thing is just, I know that events like this have changed my life. That's why I'm so passionate about it. When we launched ClickFunnels 5 years ago, we weren't going to do events. Like I was scared of doing them. I struggled with it. But I know that I had such a life transformational experience because of going to events like this. I met my partners, where I met all the people that I work with today in business. All I met at live events. And so we decided, when we decided to do an event, we wanted to do them, but we didn't want it to be like every other event. Okay, when you guys go to other events and you go to ours, you'll see the difference. You'll feel the difference. It's not the same. This is closer to a rock concert than a marketing event. You're gonna get the marketing, the tactics, the motivation, the training, the community, all the things will happen here that you'll never experience anywhere else. And the only way I can prove it to you is just have you come and experience it. So please come and experience it. If for some reason you go through and you're like, that wasn't worth the time, let me know. I'll give you your money back. I don't need it. This is not about me at all. This is about you changing your life, but you just got to make the commitment. You got to make the step to come. So please come to Funnel Hacking Live. It's going to be amazing. I want you to be there. This is the last time I'm asking, because after today, we're going to be sold out. And then it's going to be you coming back saying, can I get in? And I'll be like, I'm sorry. I tried my best. I did everything I could. I sent out dozens of emails and did live trainings and videos and offers and everything I did to get you to the edge, and I can't do anything else. So now it's up to you. This is your opportunity. This is your shot. You got to go to funnelhackinglive.com, get your tickets. With that said, thank you guys so much for participating in Funnelology. I've had so much fun this week with you. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Hopefully this gave you some of the foundational knowledge about funnels you needed. Hopefully help fill in some of the gaps of things you might have missed in the past. And now it's time to get started, to get to work. Come to Funnel Hacking Live. This is where we're going to give you the transformation you need and the rest of the tools you need to be successful. With that said, we're going to cue up the videos right now. Have fun watching clips from Funnel Hacking Lives in the past, and just know the next one's coming up, and this is your chance to be in the room, to be in the audience, to change your destiny, to paint your own future, to make your visions and your dreams come true. We're there to serve you and support you, and I want you there. So please come to Funnel Hacking Live. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks, everybody.
If I had to predict where I would be 1 year from the day I signed up to join Russell's Mastermind, I could never have predicted the growth. It has been a life-changing experience.
Funnel Hacking Live is an event that is put on by Russell Brunson, where he shares with internet entrepreneurs exactly how to accelerate their success by using a software that he created called ClickFunnels to create websites that actually make sales in a very easy way for people who are looking to succeed online.
ClickFunnels came out of nowhere. They took the marketplace by storm, just like Apple did when they first launched the iPhone. It was not a linear move anymore. It was a quantum move in improvement that'll opened up a gap to allow people just like you and me, who are not technically savvy. We weren't born in the matrix, and we didn't have a chip implanted in our heads. We're not engineers or computer science majors. An opportunity to cut and decrease the time of stress and anxiety and suffering behind a keyboard. Trust me.
You can talk bad about my mama, but you cannot talk bad about ClickFunnels, because what ClickFunnels has done for my business, I can't even begin to tell you.
Russell's just make it so simple for anybody to just instantly get it.
So authentic.
One of the most genuinely nice individuals and human beings you will ever meet.
Breaks it down really easy.
He's just a risk taker. He's a mover and a shaker.
The first time I spoke with him, immediately I knew I was playing small.
We took these guys to an exotic car racing place.
What's better than getting in an exotic car? It's called dream racing, right? Like all it is a dream in some people's mind. Being able to go to the dream racing track, the exotic track, and get into a Lamborghini and get into an Aston Martin. And what it seeds is you tell it either it's going to be a dream or it's going to be a reality. it's really up to you.
Russell was running a contest. It was going to give his Ferrari F430. All I did was tell the world about this awesome book, and I got this Ferrari, which is just absolutely ridiculous.
That instills in you that necessity to really give to other people. I think we're over $25,000 right now for World Teacher Aid. Every single funnel that gets created, $1 gets donated to World Teacher Aid.
I think Russell was able to raise money for 2 schools, and that's huge.
They were all excited to be there and excited to be in that room.
Being an entrepreneur, I would say it's like the loneliest job in the world because it's kind of you and your thoughts, and you see other people and you kind of connect, but not like in a real way with them. I like bringing people together. It just gives you the ability to be around other people who are like you, who think like you, and who believe like you. And for me, every time I get around good entrepreneurs, like my vision gets bigger.
You're literally sitting next to people who are doing $1 million, other people who are just brand new. Everyone who's here, they want to share and they want to see everyone else succeed. I come to a live event where Russell can guide me, where people next to me are smarter than me.
And they share information that's absolutely priceless.
I wanted real ClickFunnels members to come and to speak. This funnel type Russell talked about, this is what I did, how I did, and how I'm making 100 grand a month, and all of a sudden it like becomes real.
You get to hear more stories and more action plans, more principles to business.
In the trenches, what's working now, information.
You want results faster? Here's a faster hack. Go this way.
Here's the concept, and then boom, here's it working for someone just like you, and that was my favorite part.
It will accelerate your success like nothing else out there.
There's just been so many tools out there. Very few have been aggregated to do everything you need to do to create success.
ClickFunnels is an amazing software that allows you to sell a product online quicker and faster than anything you've ever seen in your life.
It's just a simple way of making pages that convert. You know, I mean, they're like business-oriented templates that already start beautiful, but that you can very easily customize. It doesn't seem like it takes an hour or two, it takes 3 hours, and I have a whole funnel built, and then I just go.
You know, in one day, you can get that idea, you can be live.
You can take that idea out of your head and you can actually make it real.
Authors, speakers, high-end coaching. We do marketing products for real estate agents.
T-shirts.
Every kind of person is here, and that's awesome. Whenever we think about hacks, tips, and tricks, right, it's like the fast way to do it.
It's about taking best practices from people who have already proven what works.
Funnel hacking isn't about stealing, it's about modeling and creating your own spin on something that's already working.
I think entrepreneurship is being hacked here.
It's people who are doing stuff. Every single session that I've been in has pretty much been a standing ovation.
The caliber of speakers, Marcus Lemonis, Sean Stevenson, Russell has those people here at the event.
Russell Brunson, he genuinely wants to make a difference in the lives of many, 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 many people.
He gets more excited about the success of others than he does about his own success.
He really cares about the bigger picture in terms of where this is all going.
He's helping tens of thousands of people grow businesses.
The event is where you get clarity and courage, to get confidence, to do what I know I need to do.
I was from Christchurch, New Zealand, no one knew me, and now I have a global audience.
Literally been the impetus between my business not even being to it being at a multi-six-figure level in 6 months.
Couldn't have done that with the yellow pages.
I see opportunity, I see all of the open potential and horizons that are at my fingertips.
It's just way more than the platform itself.
You can fast track your way to success.
My name is John Zachariah.
My name is Bonnie Faye.
This is
Deirdre White. And I use ClickFunnels.
I use ClickFunnels.
My entire company uses ClickFunnels.
This is my favorite platform there is.
It will transform your life.
joining us on this trip, and we're looking forward to seeing you on board.
All it takes is one great idea, one big thing that's implemented, and everybody's just one funnel away from having the life they've always wanted.
You're just one funnel away from becoming a weight loss coach, becoming a bestseller, becoming a company with a foundation.
A funnel is what builds your business now.
I don't think there's a business alive that this would not be transformed by.
As soon as you walk into the hotel, you just feel this overwhelming energy.
One thing I can say about Funnel Hacking Live, I know this is going to be one of those hub spots where leaders in our industry come together, where the gurus all come together.
All of these people are hustlers. Everybody is working on something. So there's this camaraderie that you can't find anywhere else.
We're all going after the exact same mission, which is impact and income.
The people in our industry doing so many different sorts of things, crushing it. Your beliefs are built up as far as what's possible.
The go-getters, the people getting it done, the people that you feel like, man, I can never connect with them, you know, they're here.
You're not only getting people who all consume and play off the same playbook, they're showing you specific examples of it in action, and it's not theoretical. Everything actually works.
He brings in the best of the best. You get these people that are worth millions of dollars and they're just sharing with you their tips and their strategies, and you just grow exponentially. It's electrifying.
You gotta be around people that are killing it so that you can continue to kill it and you can grow and do even greater things.
This 2 Comma Club, that basically means that I've sold over $1 million online.
So imagine you're getting this platinum plaque if you were a Grammy Award-winning artist who sold 1 million copies, but instead you sold $1 million through ClickFunnels.
In this room alone, there's literally over 100 millionaires. And if that doesn't speak to why everyone should be here, I don't know what will.
Russell gives you the education with his product.
He'll take complex things and he'll make them very easy to understand and, most important, implement.
He legitimately is here to help entrepreneurs create amazing lives.
I mean, he has the biggest heart. But if you want to make money and you want to make a difference, this is the perfect event for you.
We are funnel hackers. Here to remind you one more time that your life you want, the marriage you want, and the family that you want is going to be fueled by the businesses that you build. You're only one funnel away.
When we're growing up, we learn a lot of things about life from life that are just not true.
6 days a week, 1 day off a week, 1 week off every 6 months.
And I wish I had someone to educate me that college was going to bring me food stamps.
Now I know some of you are feeling that indecision, that uncertainty. Well, today's the day that you change the world.
Start small by admitting that there's something that you want to do and you don't know how to do it.
Some of you are not willing to be bad at something long enough to get good at it.
After all the money invested, after all the time, after all the hope, I'm in the same place. But here's what's interesting, when you make a decision and when you become something else, it's much easier the next time.
Because we are crazy, agreed? That's what we do as entrepreneurs. We explore.
It is easy to assume that it's talent. I don't believe in talent. I believe in good habits.
If you know that your thing can truly help people, it's your duty to make sure as many people get it as possible.
It reminds them of their journey and where they're at and that they can keep moving forward. And they're counting on you.
And that's why we get up every morning and create a new reality, come back to the present and insist it becomes real.
You don't have to be me, but there is one game that you cannot lose in.
Like me, little old me, a stay-at-home mom, history major from college, didn't know anything about fitness.
1 year ago, I was sitting in your seat at the last Funnel Hacking Live.
And the lesson is like, this is your family and your new home.
It started with the people. You have to take that identity as a funnel hacker and you have to say,
magnitude of the pain will equal the magnitude of the reward. It has to be that way.
My funnels work because I work.
I honestly believe the entrepreneurs are the only people that can actually change this planet. We're the ones that are crazy enough to go out there and try to change things.
Like a good funnel hacker, I said,
I can, I will, end of story. That's what we're here to do today.
I meant what I said about you up there. I don't say things lightly.
I have such respect for you, Russell. And what I love that you're doing now is you're teaching them to be givers and seeing the value of that and getting hooked on that. You know, to me, that's the most important thing. So congratulations, man.
Every single time you have a funnel that makes over $1 million, we're going to send you one of these amazing trophies to put on your wall. We decided to call it a True Comma Club Award.
Beneath the gaze of the Nashville sun, life at Funnel Hacking Live begins to take form. A sight not to be missed. Here we can see the migration of nearly 5,000 funnel hackers descend upon an unsuspecting hotel. For a brief period of 4 days, this habitat will dramatically change. The funnelist hackiformis are a rare species, but ever growing by the thousands each passing day. Throughout the year, most of us do not see them, often questioning their existence if it weren't for their countless retargeting ads. They wake in the early morning hours and are usually found in a crowded gym, mentoring the curious young hacklings, rejoicing in the sun by the watering hole for a brief moment, and of course recording more ads because the backdrop is just stunning. They congregate in what's known to scientists as a joint venture, the outfit of choice being matching t-shirts and undergarments, signifying the bond that ties this dispersed breed together. This is amplified by a greeting ritual of an endless myriad of high fives, hugs, acro yoga, and handshakes, from the field to the bush. In the early hours, they descend upon one single enclosure. As the doors swing open, the hackers spring into motion, flocking at 30 miles per hour in a race towards seat supremacy. Only the most spirited will lay claim to a coveted view. From there, they revel at the arrival of the alphas, who impart their wisdom from prior hunts. During this time, their feeding ritual is complex. Many subspecies survive on a diet of coffee and water, which often unintentionally creates a conflict of having to choose between absorbing knowledge and going to the bathroom. As the voyage comes to an end, they celebrate with a multitude of unpolished dance rituals. And whatever this is, a pleasing sensation. They have replenished their minds and spirits and are fit to return to the wild. FHL is a unique anthropological phenomenon, fit for the most peculiar of entrepreneurs. Those that have discovered that running a business without a funnel is just stupid.
what Russell does. I thought Russell was really awesome. You want to.
Here's to the crazy ones.
My funnels work because I work.
Entrepreneurs are the only people that can actually change this planet. Every day we have a chance to wake up and figure out what we're going to create, what we're going to make, whose lives we're going to change, which is the most exciting thing in the world.
Does this feel like a family reunion or what?
I'm going to ask you to listen, maybe like you've never listened before.
You would be making millions and reaching millions if you knew.
That is how powerful this model is. You guys have an unfair advantage by being a funnel hacker.
But here's the key, funnel hackers, listen up.
The more you understand behavioral psychology, the better marketers you'll be.
When it comes to my funnel, when it comes to my business, what are the facts of my fruit?
Just start. Your people will find you. As you find your voice, your people will find you. But you cannot find your voice until you start, until you begin, until you start moving forward.
Everything that you're learning here over the next couple of days, just do it!
The energy at FHL is like nothing else you can imagine at a convention.
The crazy part that you'll find in any room when it comes to Funnel Hacking Live.
It's everything you could hope for.
There's heart, there's family, there's community.
And you see Russell's face everywhere you go.
The men and women on stage with 2 Comma Club awards, 10X awards.
People are dancing on stage when you come in.
You're getting high fives on the way in.
That's why Funnel Hacking Live exists.
It's like better than a nightclub.
There's a feeling to this room.
The energy is so powerful. There's 4,500 people here today that want to make a difference.
There's nothing like this audience.
People are running in.
They're excited. And this is what funnel hacking does. Guys, you want to be here.
I went through probably 12 business tries and they were all complete failures. I kept getting the questions from relatives, is this the one that you're gonna be successful with?
And I spent many years growing a few businesses and just struggling, feeling completely alone, isolated, my head down to the grindstone, hoping to figure out the way.
Finding ClickFunnels like a little boy finding a flashlight in the woods, lost at night. It's been a flashlight for us. It's brought us home.
Being in the same room with the software company and the teaching and the coaching that freed me from the bonds of debt, it was really, really emotional. It was intense.
I felt a little internal nudge.
I couldn't explain it. I knew if I got in the room at Funnel Hacking Live, things would change.
I didn't know what to expect. I was really excited to just see what this whole world is about.
I am a college student. The only reason I'm here is because I begged my parents to buy me the ticket for Christmas.
Getting here the first day thinking like, this is an internet marketing conference. It was thousands of people.
From the moment you walk in the door, there's heart, there's family, there's community. It is like walking into your own ecosystem.
And then I see all these individuals from different walks of lives, and they're just like, how are you? What's your name? What do you do?
Even though we're all coming from different businesses doing different things, you've never met somebody, but you have this commonality.
So much personality, so much expression, and people tie their hair different colors and wearing crazy suits.
People are dancing on stage when you come in early in the morning.
So I have a marketing degree, and I have no idea what I learned in it.
We have no marketing skills, no business skills of any kind.
Yeah, I got my whole money's worth off the first speech of the first day. And I called my dad and I said, no, like this was worth more than my entire 5 years I spent.
Somebody asked me yesterday, they said, who was your favorite speaker? And I said, in regards to what?
Being able to get around 6, 7, 8, 9-figure earners, you can't put a price on that.
Russell's not just someone who's passionate about sharing. What he's done has just revolutionized the industry. And he's just on a mission to allow people to go faster.
What's the new thing? How does it work? How do we integrate it? How do we deploy it? How do we explain it to people?
It's not a possibility anymore, it's a reality.
When they describe ClickFunnels as a family, it doesn't make sense till you have been here.
To be around people who are just as crazy and obsessed as me.
There's 4,500 people here today that want to make a difference.
It's mission and money, and you need them both.
That's what ClickFunnels really stands for. So the truth is amazing things happen when you're willing to do them.
You see possibilities that you never could have seen.
You can excel that business.
God, it's like, pinch me. Is this real? My life just changed. It's just fun.
It's a phenomenon.
It's an oasis, man.
It feels like family. It feels like home.
I just feel blessed to be able to be a part of it.
And the gift of that, you know, that's everything.